What is a patriot? A patriot is someone that loves Christ, country, and their family and neighbors. Someone who is willing to stand up for what's right. Although there may be a cost to them, someone who has overcome fear, because fear is of Satan, willing to go the extra mile to do and show what's right. The only reason I'm on YouTube is because of God. I feel it is my destiny, my duty to do and say the things God shows me, or else I'm of no good to God at all. All patriots must stand up or risk losing God, country, and family. This is all of our destiny to do God's work. Thanks to all who watch my videos. But remember, it's not about us, but about our children, our country, our God. Thank you.
All right. When did you change that?
Do what?
When did you change that?
Change what? I didn't change that.
The intro. The ending looked different.
No,
I just never noticed that, huh? Wow.
No, it's still the same. You know where the pool balls and stuff rolling around.
Yeah, the American. Wow, I never noticed the very end.
See, you don't pay no attention to my video, Steve. I knew that. I knew it. You'll say hello to a few people here right quick?
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you start off then.
I'm going to scroll back up to the top. We got Kiss Off and Scat Pack 2. Uh-oh, guess who's here? The official person to say it's a damn good show.
Well, I hope he sticks around to the end so we can get that official proclamation out of him.
Right, yeah. We have to have the approval at the end.
Absolutely.
Then we got Karen Reese, aloha. Chris C. John Denicola, aloha. John can't hang long, but he just wanted to stop by and show some support.
Thank you, John.
Salt and Light.
The beautiful Salt and Light is here, and the beautiful Kiss Off both are here. Wow.
Chris Gilbert.
What's up, Chris? Good to see you, brother.
Meemaw Patriot.
Meemaw. Hello, Meemaw. Good to see you, girl.
Let's see. I think I went through all of them. I think I got everybody.
Let's see. Looks to me like you did.
There's Steve-O.
Steve-O jumps in right at the last. What's up, Steve-O?
This coming Saturday, we're gonna have I'm gonna have Steve-O on for Rock Garden Part 2, planting of the rock garden, and some new rocks, from my understanding.
Well, now I may have to watch a little bit of that just to see how you plant rocks and get them to grow. I mean,
yeah.
He could start his own. What do you used to call them back in the? I don't think you were around this time, Steve. You might have been though. You know, where you got these rocks and they pet rocks. That's what I'm trying to say.
Pet rocks. Yep.
Yeah. He could do both. He could grow rocks to paint, and he could grow pet rocks and sell them.
They had the pet rocks. They had the pet rocks, and they had the chia pets. They kind of looked like rocks, but they actually grew plants. Yeah. LSP. Always good to see LSP.
He said, drop the link for the Steve-O show.
Yeah, I have to set that up, though, still. I just got done making the thumbnail for it.
He undoubtedly wants to see some rocks grow, too, Steve.
Well, that's what one of the thumbnails said, that like how to plant a rock or something along those lines. So like people would be like, "What?" To like grab their attention.
Yeah. Deadpool Snaps, hello there. And who else? Oh, Jason Gaudette. Hello, Jason.
Jason,
Welcome.
aloha, Jason, and thank you, John. Thank you, brother. Appreciate
You know,
that.
I seem like I've got to know Jason Gaudette. Matter of fact, I think I've been on a show or two with him. Oh, if it's one I'm thinking about, he does karaoke too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, yeah, he sings.
Okay, then that's where. Hello, how's it been going, Jason? Been a while, brother. But when I first got to know him, I think it was the next week I lost my channel. So that's another one I
Oh,
hadn't.
okay.
It's another one I hadn't resubscribed to that I got to resub to. Hello,
Yeah, that's the
Cola.
hardest
Welcome.
part about losing a channel is you can't remember everybody off the top of your head who
For
you were,
darn sure.
especially if they don't not don't have a channel, but if they don't post and you know what I mean, if they don't put videos out or they don't do lives.
Well, it's incredibly hard for me. I don't care if they got 1,000,000 videos out. It's still unless they just happen to run across my screen or phone when I'm watching it, then I miss them because I mean I know I've got about 1,000,000 subscriptions to go before I get caught back up, but I mean it just takes a while after you lose your channel.
That shit, I can't remember what I did 10 minutes ago sometimes. So it's like, yeah, how am I gonna remember the 1,000 people I'm subscribed to?
Absolutely. I don't know if I said hello to Cola or not, but if I didn't, hello Cola and hello Miss Sharon Mercier. Good to see you, Sharon.
Yes,
And
aloha,
Cola.
Cola, and Sharon.
What
Deadpool
Life is
Snipes.
here.
What life?
What's up, What Life?
Oh, Kirk. There's my brother Kirk from Detroit.
Yeah, Mr.
My
Kirk.
fellow Michigander.
Mr. Gander, Gander, Goosey, Gander, Gander. Damon Austin. Now, that's a new one on me. How you doing, Damon? And welcome.
Damon Aloha. I like that name. That's my son's name. Damon. Spelled the
Is
same
it?
way. Yep.
First time I remember seeing Jason here, though. Damon. I'm sorry about that, Damon.
Yeah, that's what I seen the name and I thought of my son right away. I'm like, nah, that's not my son. But I don't know. Maybe it is. He could have changed his name to Damon Austin. Who knows?
And Granny 14 is here, too. Welcome, Granny.
Granny 14. Aloha.
Got all kinds of new people here today, Steve. Now we just got to figure out a way to hang on to them.
Right. Let's see.
Here's a question for you.
Oh, Steve, give a guy hope. What's the weather like out there? It's beautiful today. Well, compared to it was. I was just telling Ronnie backstage like a week ago. It was just raining and just ugly, and it reminded me of Michigan. But yeah, right now it is. Oh, it says mostly cloudy. It just looks like not mostly cloudy. It just looks, but 74 degrees.
74. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think it's probably about 59 or 60 here, but it's cloudy out too. Been raining a little bit here and there. But man, I tell you what, this past week, that's about all it done was rain. And then night before last, man, I'm telling you what, I don't know how hard it was actually raining outside, but it had to be raining pretty hard because in here, I mean, it sounded like it was coming a flood of biblical proportions. I mean, man, it was raining.
Yeah,
But
like
it didn't,
that
it only
downpour.
rained. Yeah, but it only rained about an hour or something like that. So, it wasn't too bad. But what's funny is my daughter and her boyfriend just got them a new place to put their mobile home or travel trailer, however you want to put it. And they hadn't got any gravel in the driveway yet. And so, so that needless to say, they've been digging a lot of ruts and getting stuck.
I was just visualizing that, like, man, no gravel and rain and yeah, and a travel trailer. There's Indy. Aloha, Indy.
Hello, beautiful Indy. Welcome, girl. Good to see you.
It's colder than a witch's tit and a brass bra out. Oh, that's funny as hell.
Well, where you at, John? He must be up in Canada or somewhere. Maybe the South Pole. Who knows?
Yeah, so Midwest, East Coast, or Canada. That is, man. Man, this week went.
Uh,
It seems like just yesterday we had,
Wolverines, hello there and welcome.
hey, Southeast Wolverines will be a guest on this podcast, but not today, but coming up.
Oh no, not Wolverines. If it is, I can't be here that day.
You know, I think Wolverine is the only person I know, literally, that does not have a cell phone. He literally does not have a cell phone.
Really?
Yep. Because I was like, I emailed him and said, just shoot me a text, man. And he's like, I don't have a phone. Can't do that.
Well, you got a computer. You can do it on a computer.
Well, yeah, that's how we communicate. Yeah, but it's just I've never met like because I had a buddy back in Michigan that he had a cell phone, but at the time it was like the old flip phone, so he still didn't text. He just had it for like just in case he needed it.
Yeah.
So he was like the same way, but I've never met someone that literally does not even have a cell phone. So
Me either. Even my friend that was 84 years old, almost 85 when he passed away. He even had a cell phone, but he would bitch about me taking mine. Whenever I went somewhere, but he would have his. I said, who are you to be bitching at me about carrying my cell phone when you carry yours everywhere you go? Right. Well, I do forget it every once in a while. I said, well, hell, so do I. I forget mine sometimes too. But he won't gripe at me for carrying my cell phone, but carried his.
Yeah, that's like saying you can't wear a shirt. Only I can wear a shirt. You can't wear a shirt out in public.
Yeah, well, with my body, he wouldn't have gotten an argument there. I'd have damn sure wore my shirt. Show off this fantastic physique of mine for nothing. Chad, what's up, bro?
What's up, Chad? Yeah, what an interesting week, man. I met well, I'll just say a guy because I don't want to say who the person is, but we went to a business anniversary party, and basically that person's retiring, and it was also Chinese New Year's. It was a fun night. I went live for like an hour and a half just because it was so exciting. But I met a guy that night, and I'm like, hey, how you been? And he's like, oh, good. I forgot where he's from, but he's got like an accent, like foreign accent, but white guy. But anyway, he's like, yeah, I just bought some new property. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean, these people got money, like wealthy. And
money, what's that?
Like yeah, exactly. But I mean, I always knew they were wealthy, but I found out how wealthy they were the other night because then I was like, oh, you got some property, that's cool. Where, in Hawaii, you just buy it, and he's all, oh no, here, let me show you. He's like, I bought a castle in Denmark. I'm like, a castle in Denmark? What? And I'm like, maybe he just calls it his castle. He pulls up a picture of an aerial view. Motherfucker bought a castle in Denmark, like not even exaggerate. It's like tons of property, and it's like it looks like something out of the movies. I'm like, is that even real, dude? Like, oh my god! And he bought it fully furnished, so all they have to do is move in. And he's showing me the pictures of the inside and everything, and it's like 30-something bedrooms.
But did you ask him if it came with its own ghost, or does he have to have them brought in? Because I hear castles are very haunted, all of them. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't even think of it. And I always ask everyone if they believe in ghosts too. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I think it's because I was so blown back. Like, this mother bought a castle, dude. Like, so yeah, I'm thinking this guy's like,
is he a plumber?
Money. No, he's definitely not. Which I'm glad, because if he was a plumber, then I'm like, I'm definitely doing something wrong. Because
well, y'all the ones
I really believe this dude has more money than Kanye West, man. Like, he's just, and like I said, I always knew they had money, but I never realized like you could just buy a castle in Denmark. Like, what?
I
30
can't believe
something
it.
bedrooms.
Well, I
It's
guess
like,
the reason he bought it in Denmark is because if he bought it in England or somewhere, it would cost millions and millions more. Who the hell knows? I mean, I've never priced
right.
a castle, so I don't know.
Well, they have two different properties here. Well, maybe more, but houses that they live in back and forth, and both of those are just like wow. I've been to both of them, and it's just amazing. And then he owns businesses, and he owns quite a few businesses, and so they're well off.
Sounds like it. Well, if you got to be off somehow, it's best to be well off. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm happy for that guy, man. He definitely worked for what he has. You know what I mean? And
Well,
yeah, I gotta
Greg
admit,
Jacob,
I get
welcome.
a little jealous, just a little, because it's like, damn, what I would do to just to be able to, like, you know what, I want a new car. All right, let's go buy one. Like I've never done that. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. Just to have the money to be like, yeah, you want a new car? All right, let's go get one. No big deal.
A little stud
100
muffin.
grand.
Now, I've got to ask a serious question here. I'm not sure what a stud muffin is, so somebody's going to have to explain that to me. I think I got an idea, but I don't really know what it is. I've heard the term before, but I never knew what the hell it was.
Stud muffin. Yeah, how would you break that down?
I don't know. I just
You
want to be sure I
feeding
don't call somebody that until I know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
you're gonna feed me a muffin with studs in it?
Mm-hmm. Either that or a pack with horse shit, one or the other, I guess.
a pack, a
I mean,
pack
it's a
of horse
muffin.
shit.
It's a beefy. It's a salt says it's a beefy pudding.
A beefy pudding. It's a beefy pudding. Tom Hardy is a stud muffin. Yeah, yeah. As a man, I could say yeah, because Tom Hardy's a stud muffin.
Well, I don't know Tom Hardy
Oh, if you've
nor
seen him,
Henry
if you've
Cavill.
seen him, or if you've seen a clip of one of the movies, you'd be like, "Oh, that's Tom Hardy." But yeah, you know who he is. I'm sure if you've seen him, you know right away.
Yeah, maybe so, but just hearing his name or seeing his name, I don't recall him or Henry Cavill.
Who's the
Oh,
other one?
Henry Cavill.
I don't even know that one.
Deadpool says it's a super stud, hot, manly man. Oh, well, then in that case, I'll take it.
Sold.
Absolutely. Craig said he ain't going to touch that one. I don't blame you, Craig.
Henry is Superman. Oh, like the new Superman. I haven't watched any of those.
He is Superman and he is the Witcher.
I
Whatever a
haven't
Witcher is.
watched I haven't watched Superman, any of the Superman movies or series or anything since Christopher Reeves.
Oh, me either. I didn't even know there was one.
There's been a few, I think, since Christopher Reeves.
I don't remember. I watched one. I could have, just don't remember it. But I mean, when Christopher Reeves, got threw off that horse or whatever and got paralyzed, that
Yeah,
kind of ruined me on Superman because Superman just don't get paralyzed. I mean, how could you paralyze
right.
Superman?
It's like I thought it was kryptonite, not a horse.
Exactly. Exactly.
So all those movies, they're messing around with all that kryptonite. All they had to do is get a horse.
710 is oil upside down. What's going on, oil?
What's up, 710? And only a Mr. Bill, aloha.
You boomers, wait, I am old too. Well, jump right on in. The water's fine. I guess you'd call me a boomer. I think the boomers came from my age. I don't know what they were under me, but I think it was I think they came when I was, in my generation. I think it's who it describes. Wouldn't swear to it though.
No, I think so, yeah, because you're my dad's age. So yeah, like my parents
Yeah.
are, which is weird. I just said about age because I was just talking about that Friday night too. is that I was like, man, yeah, I never thought of that, but I got three best friends, and all three different generations. There's Creek. He's 1 year younger than my son, and there's my buddy Dave's not here, man. I grew up with. He's the same age as me, and then I got Ronnie. He's 198.
There you
So I
go.
got
You got them all covered.
my three closest friends are three different generations.
Kissaw says it's meat on a stick, mighty fine. Well, right on, Kissaw. I'll definitely take your explanation for it too.
It's like a kebab.
I thought Ronnie was Generation Dirt. That's pretty much it. Just leave out the boomer part and just throw in the dirt, and you got it.
Oh, and also for everyone in my chat, I have Ronnie's link pinned at the top because we're streaming on Ronnie's channel this week. So if anyone wants to go and hit that like button.
Absolutely. Hit both like buttons like you own them or something. Hope is here. Hope arising. Hello, Hope.
Hope. Aloha, Hope. Good to see you.
Certainly is. Rome is here. What's up, Rome? Good to see you too. Rome 13. I can't leave out that 13. Good to see you, Rome.
13. Aloha.
Let's see. And
Mr. B. Elvis is in the building.
Elvis is definitely in the building. Definitely. She says she's alive, so that's all it matters.
Well, that's a good thing.
It certainly is.
Because I would be actually I'd be terrified if you weren't and still typing in chat. Then I'd be a little concerned.
We'd want to know how it all happened, wouldn't we? To say the least. How she could be typing and be, in the next world.
And I would definitely be able to say, yep, I definitely believe in ghosts.
Joy to all. Hello to you too, Joy, and welcome. Even though you're in Steve's chat. No, it don't matter to me which chat y'all are in, as long as you hit the thumbs up button for both of us. That'd just tickle me to death.
And then that's why I pinned the link for the Ronnie's too, so that you can jump back and forth if you want and chat with who's in that chat.
You ready to bring our guest in or no?
Yeah, we got a great guest today.
And I'll let you tell about him because you're the one that met him, Steve. So
yeah, well, you know what? Let's let him do that. Let's bring him up and let him introduce himself.
Here we go. There's the man.
Well, that answers my question. Because I forgot to ask you. Because sometimes people don't want people to know their real first name. So that answers my question. There's Mark.
Yeah. It's all good, man.
How's it going, man?
Hey, man. You know what? It's kind of crazy, man. I lost one of my dogs a couple days ago, man. We've been trying to find her, so it's been a crazy couple days for me.
Oh man, that's the worst feeling in the world.
Man, I'm telling you, yeah, got two kids that are, kind of holding it together, but it's been harder to keep the wife together, than anything. Taking a little harder than I expected,
You know
what?
How
you guys doing though?
I have a flyer on my fridge right now for a lost dog, and I've actually been looking for that dog because I know that I hate that feeling and I love dogs. Your dog's name isn't Drizzy, is it?
No. She's the female husky named Zoe.
Oh, okay. Because I got a flyer for another dog that's lost. But I'll keep a lookout for a husky too, because I hate that feeling, man. This little guy right here has gotten away a few times, and it's just, man, my heart sinks, and it's like, man.
Right. Yeah, it happens, man.
So you're on Maui too, Marcus?
No, Oahu.
What's that?
Oahu. I got Maui. You're on Oahu too?
Yep.
Okay, and that's where you lost the dog, or
So she got out the backyard. My son was taking his bike out, man, and we got two dogs. We got a little small husky beagle mix. Looks like a beagle with husky blue eyes, and she came back. I think she got clipped by a car and got scared and ran back home. But the husky, she kept going, and we were told she was picked up by someone in a silver 4Runner or a Tacoma, and we've been, HPD was there supposedly right next to them when they were getting the dog. So we were thinking like maybe, it's kind of late in the evening. So we're like, well, maybe they'll, after the night, they'll reach out to Humane Society or something. And now it's going on 48 hours. And I mean, it's kind of weird, if somebody picked up a dog and, it's not theirs, you would think that they would, turn the dog in, but that's not what's happening, man. And we've been calling around and everything.
Well, no, particularly if it's a good looking dog. I mean, and it's a good dog.
Yeah, she was healthy, fed, her coat was it was brushed out and everything, so she definitely didn't look abandoned, so for someone to pick her up and after 48 hours, just still haven't reached out to any of the vets or Humane Society, we're kind of weirded out. So tomorrow I plan to put an award up, and hopefully maybe they're, instead of trying to keep the dog, they need the money more, so hey, we'll see, man.
Hey,
but yeah, I don't want to take over the stream. I don't want to take over the stream talking about my dogs, man. But I just I tell Steve that I look forward to getting on with you guys, man.
No, man, it's great. That's when we have guests on. That's what it is. The guests more or less lead the way. So you're good.
Whatever you want. Yep, that's.
Have you got Mark's? Is that Mark's channel? Yeah, okay. I was going to ask you to drop Mark's channel, and there it is.
Yep, I'm putting it in your chat right now. So
okay.
I appreciate that, man. I'm still new to this live streaming stuff, man. I've only been doing YouTube for about seriously, of course, a lot of people have an account. You're either a streamer or you're, a person that kind of just uses it for entertainment. But I just started doing videos about, and then it's fun, it's interesting, and it's definitely a challenge too.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's definitely a challenge for people that's as stupid as me trying to run all this, get all this technology shit down. I've been doing it now for 2 or 3 years, and I'm still about 1 million miles away. I've only came 1 mile, in other words. I take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. When it comes to technology, man, I ain't kidding you. I'm dumber than a rock on this stuff.
Hey, it's changing fast, man. And with this new AI stuff, man, I gotta try to jump on that too, man. This AI is it's moving quick, man. Real quick.
It is too quick for me, but
yeah.
It is what it is, I guess.
Yep.
It definitely takes a lot of the thinking out. You just type in basic part of what you want, and it writes you a whole script. It's like, geez.
Right. Yeah, exactly. One guy, man, he's been like writing books, and I'm like, and they're actually successful books, they're actually, selling and everything. And I'm like, man, that's pretty cool, and it just does all the work for you, So, man, folks better jump on board, man.
What's your channel about, Marcus? You want to tell people about it, a little bit about it, or?
Yes, so I was telling Steve, man, I quit my job. I'm a veteran, and I'm actually a welder by trade. So I've been welding since high school. My previous job, I'm not going to name who they are, but the boss, he just was not supervising material. So if you're the supervisor of a team, but your main focus is to try to be as cool with the guys in the team rather than supervise, there could be a conflict of interest, and this particular supervisor of mine, man, I go to work, I do my job, and then after that, I want to, I sit back, I trade stocks, I focus on other things, but I'm not looking to be inside of that circle of group, of people talking about other folks, so I don't talk about people behind their back, if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it to your face, and because I just wasn't one of those people that wanted to be in the in crowd, they kind of put me on the outside, so when you go to work every day, you don't want to go to work and be stressed out, just people coming to you, they're talking about you behind your back, so I said, you know what, my wife's active duty military, man, let me just get out there, man, and try to do this by myself, so I quit my job, man, and I just went out on a limb. I started doing Uber Eats and stuff, and that's kind of, just working for myself is how I met Steve, so it's been good, man. It's starting to pick up now, and I think I'm really starting to find my purpose.
Well, now Steve told me about you hauling the stuff off in his backyard. Do you take that to a junkyard? Do you have a warehouse for it and sell parts and stuff?
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, so there's a lot of free junkyards around the island where you can take stuff. I got a couple of people that have reached out to me from different organizations saying, hey, if you come across stuff like mattresses or tables, chairs, things, anything, if someone getting a new house could use, then I donate the stuff to them. So anything that can be donated, I try to donate it because, of course, you don't want to just keep taking junk to the landfills, because You know, I don't know if you've ever been to the landfills, you know, that they have around here, but some of them are really, really bad, man. Like as far as like, you know, the smell and how much trash, because everyone's taking junk, you know. So I try to donate as much as possible, but sometimes some stuff just has to go to the dump.
Yeah. And unfortunately for me, I just gave him a bunch of old water heaters that don't work.
Yeah, see, we got to get back out there too, man. I know Alex has been pretty busy, you know, but we haven't forgot about, you know, helping you out too. So but after we posted, you know, helping you out, man, like I don't know if you're on Nextdoor or not, man, but it took off. Like there's so many people talking about it, and that's what I mean by like I think I found my purpose, you know. I just kept doing it, you know. People just kept reaching out, you know, hey, you know, my father died and now I got a lot of stuff. I you know, don't have the means of getting rid of this stuff. And I've helped out a few people, man, and they're I mean, it surprised me. I've gotten more business from doing free work, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know, it does. Yeah, because well, you know, people when you do stuff for free to start off with, I think it gives people you know, more trust in you to do jobs in the future. So, you know, it kind of says what kind of a person you are to begin with, you know.
Good character, that's
right.
Exactly.
Did you say your wife is active military?
Yeah, you know, so crazy thing, man. That's how we're out here in Hawaii, man. In the past 4 years, I've lived in Japan, California, Hawaii. You know, that's all from Virginia, you know, and it's, you know, she's active duty chief. She works at the over on Pearl Harbor, you know, so she's a counselor over there. So she, you know, anytime somebody does something on the island, you know, they go to jail or, you know, military anyways, she's the first person they talk to, you know. So some very interesting stories, man, things that you wouldn't believe, you know, but it opens the eyes up to, you know, just the world and how, I guess you can say, crooked, you know, people can be, you know, even though they're in a position of leadership, you know. So
yeah.
Well, tell us one or two of those stories if you can. I love these stories.
So the most recent one you may be familiar with. Do you remember the guy that was up at Schofield Barracks? He had a pistol and he pistol whipped his sergeant. And
I didn't hear about that one.
Okay, yeah. So this is probably a few months ago, man. There was a guy in he was training to be a pilot, right? So something happened where, you know, I don't know if it was a piece of property he was trying to buy or sell or whatever, but there was a scuffle and this guy had a pistol, you know, and this all happened on base. So he hit his sergeant or it might have been his sergeant, but he hit the guy over the head with this gun. And of course, they called a security alert on the base or whatever. At that time, I was doing Uber Eats and I was trying to deliver some food to the base. So of course, all traffic is stopped. I mean, you'd hear sirens going off everywhere, and come to find out, you know, this guy was running around the base, you know, or at least they thought he was, but at that point he had already called one of his friends or something that had a plane, and they flew him to the Big Island, and that's where they ended up catching him at, you know. So he tried to flee, but she had to counsel this guy after they caught him. You know, they sent him to the brig, and you know, she always every person that comes to the brig, she has to assess their condition, their mental state, and, you know, figure out where they need to go, where they need to be in isolation, if they can go to general population, you know. So she's the first person that they talk to. But that's just one story, you know. Some of the more sinister things is, of course, you know, you have pedophiles in the real world. You probably have just as many, if not more, pedophiles in the military, you know. So she deals with that a lot, you know, just people coming in there with different, I mean, it's pretty insane. But I don't want to go too far into detail because you got man, it's really sad stuff, you know. That
well, I tell you what, if she's dealing with pedos, I feel for her, man. That's
got to be a stressful, all around stressful job just for her.
I don't know if I could do that or not. I mean, you know,
it's tough, man. It's tough, and I hear about it. You know, she comes home and she tells me these stories, and I was like, "What? This guy had 30 years in the military, and he did what?" And you know, and it's true stories. You know, these things are happening every single day, and I'm sure you see about it in the news and different types of you know, platforms and stuff. People are talking about this stuff. It's happening. You know?
And by the way, I did hear about that that pistol whipping that you're telling about. It's
right.
It's been a while, so my memory only works about, you know, minute by minute. So, I'm old, man. I don't know what to say.
No, you're wise. You're wise. You're not old. You're getting wiser. That's all that is.
I hope so. Miss Minder Sue, hello there and welcome. Mike MQ, hello, welcome. Annette Groff, hello there and welcome. Or Graff, I'm sorry, mispronounced your name. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Marcus.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I was kind of trying, like I said, I'm new to this too. I see stuff popping up, but I have no idea what I'm looking at, so I'm just listening to you, man. But yeah, so other than that, man, I quit my job, and of course, my wife, she kind of like, oh, like, what are you doing, but I say 2020, man, I woke up. I mean, I was probably like a lot of folks, I just watched a lot of YouTube. I wouldn't say I was lost, but 2020 slowed down the world, and some folks chose to, take their time and just, continue to just watch, YouTube or Instagram videos, shorts, and I decided to take up stocks, and one thing I learned was that when there's money involved, man, a lot of crooked things happen, and learning about the stock market and just understanding how money works really opened my eyes up to realize that, if I'm planning on setting my family free, me going to a job every single day was not the way I was going to do it. And that's not to say that anybody that's working the job is they shouldn't be doing it. But, my purpose, what I've been trying to do all my life is always want to be a business owner, so going to work 8 hours a day for me was just not going to do it, because by the time you get off work, you're tired, so you don't really want to work on yourself. So, once I started trying to figure it out, the first thing I started doing was I started driving, doing Uber Eats and stuff like that. And if, Steve knows I got a Tundra, and you just don't just do Uber Eats and no Tundra, you'll make some money. But I was having to fill my truck up like every 2 days, so I said, man, there's got to be some better stuff out there, So I got online, I started doing some more research, and I found different people that hire you for, like, if you got a pickup truck, I was utilizing my truck in a more effective way, so I'm taking bigger jobs, on dump runs and stuff like that. And I don't want to keep working for other people, so I say, what can I do for myself, and that's when I kind of stumbled across Alex. I offered on Nextdoor, I said, hey, here's a free dump run. I just want to get out and meet the community, how do you get yourself more business? By getting out and meet people. So I offer free service. It got a really good response, and people started hitting me up, and then people like, hey, this guy's legit. He's real cool. If you can afford to hire him and pay him for his services, please do that, because he's doing honest work or whatever. So I'm in the process now of trying to start a nonprofit organization, because it's, of course, me doing this free work. It's very, it fills me up with joy and pride. However, I still got to feed the family, so, so I figured starting a nonprofit would be something that'll be, I can get donations and get people to help me do this work, and then at the same time, I can actually maybe hire some other veterans to get out there and do the same thing. They go pick up some of these loads, and then I'll just pay them from the nonprofit, so that way we can have a greater outreach.
Yeah, and what you're talking about there, Marcus, sounds exactly like I was watching a show. It's some guys that deal in antiques. I can't think the name now because it's been years since I watched them. But one of the last shows I watched them, these guys, they were out in Los Angeles, but they were doing basically the same thing that you're doing. And they started out, I mean, they were just really small when they started out. And now they've got gigantic warehouses. I mean, some of the stuff they won't even sell because they don't even try to sell it because it's too expensive, and this is stuff that people give to them. What they did at their beginning, they were cleaning out houses. When people move out, they'd leave stuff. And so they'll go back and clean his houses out. Man, the people left stuff in there from Michael Jordan and one of the big boxers. What was his name? But Michael Jordan, I mean, leave his stuff for him or whoever it was that left his stuff. That's enough to make you filthy rich. Just what he left. And
right.
It was a big signed autograph, of him and not an autograph, but a big picture, that they autographed him and the guy this guy's still around. He played for Arkansas in college. What was his name? Big dude. I can't think of his name.
I don't know nothing about Arkansas.
I'm saying
he was in the pros. He played in the NBA for a long time. I don't know anything about basketball, so that's why I can't remember most of his name. But Michael Jordan, I think everybody knows that name.
Oh yeah.
They should. They should.
But the thing it was, these two guys were supposedly enemies at the time, but they both signed this big picture, and so that made the picture worth so much more because
yeah.
They were supposedly enemies, and maybe they were, and for whatever reason they signed that picture together. But I mean, it was a big old picture. I think it was of the whole team, if I remember correctly. But anyway, that's just one of the things. I mean, they had all kinds of stuff that people left behind. I mean, expensive stuff in these homes.
Right. And I come across the same stuff too. People, they're moving out. They're leaving the island. The biggest thing is, with a lot of military too. They're leaving the island, or folks just moving out. And they just have, you accumulate so much stuff over time. And when it's time to pack this stuff up, you're like, okay, yeah, I don't need all this. And they put it out on the curb, or they call somebody to come pick it up. And I come across a lot of stuff. That's maybe slightly damaged or whatever. And I'm like, say, I'm real good with my hands, so I'll take something that seems like trash and I'll completely, revitalize it and sell it, for a profit, because it's really it can be reused.
Yeah,
I met a guy about 2 years ago maybe, and I was on a job and he pulled up with a trailer, and I was like, oh, and it was for the same person I was doing work for. So I asked him, I'm like, oh, and he's like, oh, he's here to get my old washer and dryer because I bought new ones. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I started talking to the dude that showed up, and he's like, yeah, he goes like, I come and pick up old appliances from anyone for free, and then he fixes them. So they're old,
right.
But if whatever it needs, he just puts the money into it, fixes them, and then resells them.
Yep.
I haven't talked to him since. I hope he's doing good, but I was like, yeah, that's a great idea, man. Just
no kidding. But to me, the thing is how much do you really want to work for yourself, and are you set up to do it? In other words, can you exist long enough to get your business going? Regardless of how much you want to get it to going, you still got to have that backing, and it sounds like you got it with your wife there. So
yeah. And had my wife not been military, it probably would have been a different story. I'm prior military myself. I got out the Navy in 2015. But, with the military, they pretty much take care of everything, so we have housing, my medical and dental is all taken care of, so it's an easier decision for me to just say, hey, you know what, let me get out and try to work for myself, as for some folks, if your job is actually paying your medical and dental, it may not be a smart decision to just, quit that position or whatever, because now you got to try to figure out that too. So all that was taken care of for me. Of course, she was a little uncomfortable, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I haven't got there yet. But I can't say that I've been progressing, on a daily and weekly basis, with the amount of effort that I'm putting forward and the results that I'm getting back. So it's a humbling experience, man. And it can get tough at times, but you got to keep pushing forward, man. That's it.
Yeah. And you know what they say too. If you always do what's easy, life will be hard. So
yeah,
can't always just go the easy way,
Right.
Got it.
Well, one question I got to ask, and you don't have to tell us how much you made or anything. Did you make anything off all that junk you took out of Steve's yard?
You know what? So actually, after that run with Steve, man, I started having problems with my truck. So
that's what I figured.
I'm not blaming Steve, man. I think all that Uber Eats driving and stuff, man. I started putting a lot more miles on my car.
No, it's Steve's fault. You can blame Steve. It's his fault.
Yeah, so I think I've been troubleshooting, so I still drive it. What ends up happening is after long drives, what I come to think is that my fuel filter, it starts getting clogged up, and my truck, it just won't stop, but if I let it sit for maybe about an hour or two, it'll start back up, so I've been, I try to do all my work myself, because it's hard to get, I ain't gonna say reliable work, but the island, it's congested. If you do get it to a shop, it may be a week before they get the car back to you, in some places. So I try to do work myself, man, as much as I can,
Yeah, well, I tell you, with your truck, it's very likely it is a fuel filter, but a fuel pump can do the same thing. I mean, it acts the exact same way. I wish you good luck. I hope it's a fuel filter.
Right, I'm not trying to drop no gas tank, man. My fuel filter is right below the passenger door, so it's really easy to access. I was going to do that today, but I was going to do it, change it out yesterday, but once my dog got loose, yesterday kind of just a bust, so may try to get to it this evening. I'll definitely, get it done over the next week because it needs to be taken care of.
Well, your dog, has he got a chip in him or anything?
So luckily, with us being military, having to have her shipped all over the place all the time, that was one of the requirements, when we left Virginia going to Japan, we had to have her microchip. So both our dogs are microchip, so that's the little bit of hope that I have right now with getting her back is that, if this person is trying to keep my dog, that if they have to take the dog to the vet or, they're, for however, or my dog likes to run, so if they're not able to keep her inside a gate or, if she gets loose, maybe she gets picked up and they'll scan her and she'll get back to us that way, so
because that's one of the times I lost this little guy and it was like 2.5 days went by and mentally I accepted it. I was like, yeah, because I'm thinking the worst, like he's gonna be right. And I just accepted it right away because I'm like, all right, just get over it. And then I was with my wife and we were at the store or the bank, and she went inside and I'm in the car and I get a phone call, and they're like, oh yeah, we have Pablo, and I just started crying, dude, like a little girl. I was just like, ah. My wife comes down, she's like, well, I'm like, let's go, we're going to get Pablo. They got him, but he was where I live. He was in Waipahu, like way far. I'm like, how did he get that far?
Wow. Yeah,
he hitchhiked. Well, Marcus, can you see the screen?
I see there's TNG with that Runner 2. Yeah, I appreciate that information. I'll definitely have to check them out too.
Tennessee Ridge Runners, who that is.
Tennessee, okay, yep, that's it. Yep. Yeah, I appreciate that information. I'll have to check to see if they have a little auto shop out here. I know they every base that I went to, they usually do have like a little shop where you can take your own vehicle in and you can do the work yourself. Now, if you're referring to like the military, I guess, mechanics or whatever, that's one of the problems, man. With there being so many military here, everyone uses those shops, and it's sometimes appointments to get in there to get some work done on your vehicle. You're 2 weeks out, so
right.
So I'm pretty handy with my hands, man. It's just, YouTube, man. Everything's on YouTube now, So if you want to be a doctor, get on YouTube. I guarantee you there's a video that tells you exactly how to be a doctor. You might not be licensed, but
that's for damn sure. You got that exactly right.
That's why I put a short out like a week or so ago because I was just being a smart ass. But it was how to open a beer bottle, and that was it. It was 10 seconds. Open a beer bottle.
It's the most simple stuff, man.
How many views did you get? About 50,000 or what?
No, what? I don't even know. I don't think I got that many, but I was in a goofy mood and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna put this out. But just to let what do we got? Like a little over 70 people watching. To let everyone know how great of a guy Marcus is, and the whole story about all the junk and stuff he took is, I'm a plumber and I do water heaters, dishwasher, and I always haul the old ones away for my customers, and then I bring them home and I just throw them in the backyard and I just throw it in the bag. And next thing you know, I look like Sanford and Son. And I got a Ford Transit Connect, so it's like the mini. So I can't fit with all my tools and everything. And then one time I loaded up my trailer and drive to the dump, and they're like, can't bring anything here on a trailer. And I'm like, how am I supposed to get it here? So anyway, so then I got a few quotes, and people are like, yeah, one trip or one truckload to the dump, $400. And I'm like, because I do charge my customers to haul the old heaters away, but not that much, you know what I mean? So it's like, dude, I can't do that. And then Marcus found me and showed up with Alex, which is another great guy, and they both took a full truckload for me. And you guys don't even know how much you helped me with that, man. That's just, I appreciate it a lot.
LSP says if you're married, you have a bottle opener on your ring finger. Lord.
Yeah, man, I can't wear jewelry. Mine's made out of.
I got a rubber ring, man. This thing ain't gonna open up nothing.
Yeah, me too. I got the silicone one.
But don't wear them. I guarantee your wife will open up your head. Quick. Get you out that ring on. She'll be swearing up and down. You got you a girl on the side, and you may have if you're not wearing your ring.
We don't want that.
No. Well, not unless you're ready to die, but
I ain't ready to dive.
Yeah. Would Dreamland escape the chains? Well, I've been a plumber for over 30 years and I never even thought of that. That's a great idea. As long as it's not leaking and it doesn't have a hole in it, but you can there's a catchment and barbecue. Wow, thank you for that. Over 30 years, I've never once thought of that. That's a great idea.
Well, you should have been in touch with Dreamy Lynn escaped chains. You should have known her him a long time ago. Whichever one it is, I have no idea if it's man or woman. Oops. The hot water tank can also be turned into a sand batter for heating your home. I never heard of a sand batter. What the heck is a sand batter?
Me and Marcus don't got to worry about heating our home out here, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got my windows open now, man. I told my wife always runs the AC, man. I've been in the house freezing. I was like, I'm not freezing today. We're gonna turn the AC off and open some windows up. You know, so we've had some real cool weather lately.
Well, Steve talks about it. Y'all have a terrible time over there with weather. It's all the time either too hot, you know, like in the hundreds, or way down in the 20s.
What about the 20s? I know it rains a lot from time to time, but when it rains for like 5 minutes and it stops, you know, and then it gets hotter than what it was, you know. So it's just you know, you got to be prepared all the time. You know, I keep a rain jacket and an umbrella and everything else in the truck with me.
Oh, he changed it. It says sand battery. I still don't know what that is.
Battery, okay.
Well, I still don't know what it is. Either one of y'all? I mean, I sure don't.
Never even heard of it.
Sand battery.
Never heard of it.
Let me do a quick Google search and see.
Right on.
And I lived the first 30 plus years of my life in Detroit, and so I know all about the cold.
Yeah,
definitely know about the cold.
You know, I used to love, I actually still do. I love the snow, man. I'm from Missouri originally.
So you got to be showed, huh?
Show me say, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, we got all 4 seasons over there, man. And I love the snow, man. Get out there and you got a 4-wheel drive, you know, get out there, do donuts and just have fun, man, you know. So
I love it as long as it ain't around for no more than maybe 24 hours, you know. And I hate the cold that comes with it, though. I'll tell you what, last week it was literally so cold. And I don't know if you can tell or not, Marcus, I live in a travel trailer.
Okay.
And it's got the small propane tanks on it. I think they hold 4 gallons apiece. So I got 2 of them. But it ran out of propane one day. It was 7 degrees that morning. I ran out. Well, I woke up at 7 o'clock. So I don't actually know when it ran out. But it was colder than crap. 7 degrees outside. Luckily, I had some sitting here, you know, a couple of empty tanks here. So I went out and put them on. Darn near froze to death. Well, that next night, the very next night at 7 o'clock, it runs out again. And I thought I was completely out. So I had to, you know, go out and unhook everything, go up to the propane store and, you know, get some more, or the store and get some more propane. Darn near froze to death again. Well, I get back and change them out. And one of them, when I put it on, I forgot to turn it on. So that's why it ran out the very next night. But I didn't know that, you know, so at the time.
So it didn't run out.
No, it didn't run out that quick. But I'm telling you, man, it was blistering cold. Chrissy K, girl. Love you
real
too,
quick,
girl.
Ronnie, I put Chrissy Cat. Ronnie, I put backstage or whatever for just in case anyone in Oahu is watching, a picture of Marcus's dog. I don't know if you want to pull that up real quick. Just in case anyone's watching, keep an eye out.
I thought you meant in private chat. That's where I was looking.
Oh, no. There you go. That's the husky.
That's the one. She's the one that's missing. Yep.
What's up, D-Dog? Good to see you, brother.
Just in case anyone in Oahu is watching, and keep an eye out, because I definitely am going to, because I hate it.
Yeah, we got to post it on all the websites on Facebook, the Lost Dog, Lost Pet websites, and also got her up on Nextdoor as well. So getting a lot of response. A lot of people been sharing the postings. It's just, it just seems kind of odd. I was very hopeful that first 24 hours, but now after day 2, I'm like, okay, well, all these different organizations are open. Humane Society, she should have been taken in already. So I have a fear now that someone's trying to keep her. So.
Well, they got a song going there or what? I mean, look, I know they're howling, but it looks like they're howling in tune. Hope we don't get a copyright on this, Steve.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah, that.
So one of those people howling is actually me. I get them to howling myself.
Yeah.
I'll do a little howl and they'll just start mimicking me. So that's why they're doing that. My wife hates it.
I bet she does. I bet she does. If I was her, I'd be hiding around the corner with a baseball bat and clunk.
I used to do that with my dog, with my pit back in Detroit. I would just do the boo, and then he'd just.
Yep, and man, they jump right on in with you. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Oh, hang on, D-Dog. I thought you already had one, brother. Didn't know didn't have you rinsed up. Give me just a second here. I darn sure didn't know.
That's the weird thing about out here too is with the weather. It's like, because like I said, I grew up in Detroit, so I was used to the cold. So I mean, negative temperatures. But then after you live here for so many years, your body accumulates to paradise. So when it does get below 70, you are actually cold.
Exactly.
When
that's how it is.
When I first moved here, and it'd be like 65. People are like sweatshirts on. I'm like, wait, you serious? But now, if it gets 65, I got a sweatshirt on, and I'm like, oh, man, it's cold. What do you mean it's cold? It's cold.
Believe me, you wouldn't want to have been out in the 7 and 8 degree weather I had to venture out in last week. I don't think I've ever been that cold before in my life. I mean, to take a breath, it felt like it was going to freeze inside of your lungs.
Oh, man. Where you at, Ronnie?
I'm in Texas, North Texas.
North Texas, okay.
Well, I'm about 50 miles north, kind of northeast of Dallas. If that helps you any, I mean.
Yeah, I got some family. I got some family down in Texas too. A couple sisters living there.
What city?
I think they're in Dallas.
In Dallas, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll never forget the coldest day for me was in Detroit, and my sister's car, she was low on gas, and it was negative temperatures, and it froze the gas lines. So your blood is too thin to come back to. It is. I don't miss Michigan. But it froze their gas lines. And the thing is that the house we lived in, it was like we had a long driveway, but so you could fit a bunch of cars, but if you're the first car in and someone's behind you, you're black, And sure enough, her car wouldn't start and I couldn't go to work. So then my dad had to come over, and we go to the gas station, get the thing of gas, come back, put it in. But it was so cold that we could only be outside of my dad's truck for like 1 minute at a time, because it's like we jump back in his truck and he had the seat warmers on and everything, and it's just and then you get out, you can't even breathe right away because it like choke on it. It's so cold, your nose hairs freeze, and man, we finally I think we made like 5 trips to the gas station because we had to keep putting enough gas in there for it to thaw it out. Finally got it started. Man, I'll never forget that day. It was so. And while my sister's in her bedroom under the covers watching Price is Right, like.
Why you got that freezing your butts off?
Right.
Well,
hey, Devil Dog sent this video in about sand batteries. I guess it is. Yeah, sand battery.
Okay. Yeah, because I've never even heard of that.
Y'all want to find out what it is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, let's play it out. Let's see what we got.
All right, here we go. Get the speaker turned on.
By Aura. As you know, energy-efficient storage systems are the conundrum of making the most out of our intermittent renewable energy generation. Unless you've had your head in the sand, it's a glaring problem that we have to solve, which is why so many different technologies are being explored and developed over the last few years, to the point that some are now coming out of the sand. That's what recently happened in Finland, where the world's first commercial sand battery went live this past July. But how does it work, and is it a viable path for storing energy? Let's see if we can come to a decision on this. Before digging into the sand battery, we should first warm up on some background on thermal energy storage, or TES, which is the technology behind this new invention. And if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you've probably noticed that I'm on a bit of a hot streak recently. Now, I've talked about some heat storage before with phase change materials and molecules, as well as concentrated solar power plants. Chemical storage isn't the only option we have to stock up on renewable power. You can convert renewables into heat and store that instead. In other words, you could have a thermal or heat battery. But why should we care about storing zero carbon heat? Well, according to the Energy Information Administration, or the EIA, heating along with cooling and ventilation accounted for 46% of US buildings' energy demand in 2021. Yet this power comes from dirty sources. Over 50% of new American homes still rely on natural gas for space and water heating. Also, based on a recent study, warming up water in houses and offices and fueling low-temperature industrial processes, such as brick and food drying, releases about 10% of US energy-related CO2 emissions. So you can see why developing more thermal storage units will reduce the reliance on fossil fuels, which can also help shrink the climate impact of our heat consumption. So how does this technology work? Well, sensible heat storage is currently one of the most widespread TES solutions. Basically, you heat up a liquid or a solid material by harvesting wind or solar energy during the day or in the summer when there's plenty of it. Now, the typical way of doing this is to pass electricity through a heating element in contact with your storage material. And to discharge the heat, you simply lower the battery temperature by piping in cool air. Your heat transfer medium can be something as simple as water or more complex compounds like molten salts, which are typically integrated into concentrated solar power plants, or CSP, just like I covered in a previous video. One of the main reasons we need to develop more energy storage facilities is to minimize curtailment for renewables like solar and wind. That's when we have more energy output than demand. A good example of that is when you see wind turbines standing still on a windy day. They've been turned off because there's no demand for the energy that's being generated. As predicted by the Australian Energy Market Operator, over 20% of renewables will be curtailed by 2050. That's why TES systems could play a role in getting us out of hot water. The Sweden-based utility Vattenfall will soon fill up a 45-meter or about 150-foot high tower with water in Berlin. And fun fact, the volume of water sitting in their tank would fill up 350,000 bathtubs. Although I don't think you'd want to take a bath in this tank. Their battery is next to a power-to-heat plant that harvests spare wind energy from the grid to heat up the water to just under 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it's expected to be up and running in April of 2023. Their giant thermos will keep water hot and supply it for up to 13 hours when needed. And this sounds promising, but what if we could clean up our dirty heat by using dirt? Before we get to that, though, I'd like to thank Aura for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I had my identity stolen this past year and had to spend a bunch of time trying to fix that. My first indication of the problem was I got a letter from the IRS saying that I owed back taxes on unemployment benefits that I received. But here's the thing, I never claimed unemployment. After that fiasco, I turned to Aura to help protect myself from identity theft and credit card fraud. They provide an all-in-one proactive online monitoring service that monitors the dark web for your emails, passwords, social security numbers, and then alerts you to any problems that it finds.
Do what, Steve?
Did fast forward. He's just doing a
commercial,
whatever they call it, advertising.
I thought that's what it was. Yeah, I wasn't paying a hell of a lot of attention to him. So,
yeah, so basically, the thing is just stored energy. What it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's pretty interesting because I've never heard of that before.
Me either. But that's enough that. I mean, it's good to know that. But the show is about our man Marcus here today. So
I'm just a guy, man. That's all. I'm just a guy.
Well, hey, since you recently got out of the military and your wife's still in, how did you guys feel about what's going on and at the Texas border and in the world generally? Oh
man,
hell of a question.
Yeah, it's vast. Like I say, I wouldn't call myself woke, but I should say that I woke up, during the pandemic, and I paid attention to a lot of things that I never pay attention to. So the southern border. It's unfortunate what's happening. I can't say that I disagree with building a border wall or not having one there. I think people, no matter what, if they have where there's a will, there's a way. So even with the wall there, folks are going to build tunnels. It's just going to cost taxpayers because in some of those situations, taxpayers are paying the money, you know, and the folks that are getting rich off this wall are going to be the people that are building, you know, and it's going to deter, but it's not going to stop the problem, you know. There's got to be something else that happens, you know, and just putting a physical barrier there. A lot of folks have to understand that wall is not only going to keep people out, it's going to also keep you in, you know. So
that's very true. But you know, it never was. I don't think the wall was ever built to keep people out. That's the way it's been made to look, but I don't think that's what it was built for. What it was built for, I don't know, but I don't think it was built to keep people out.
Right.
But it ain't doing a very good job if it was. I mean, you know, they showed it they showed at the Texas border here just a couple of days ago. Now this where this is all taking place at is in Eagle Pass, Texas.
Yeah.
And there's a park out there, a city park that's about a half a mile long that the state of Texas has closed down and strung razor wire and everything to keep people from coming through there because they want them to go through an official port of entry, you know, and this guy, one guy was driving down the road straight from where that gate is that leads into that park. And there were 3 or 4 open gates just in the little ways that he drove, you know, to it, showing there wasn't nobody at none of those gates. They could have just walked down any of those gates and came through. And no one would have even said hello or goodbye. Terry, what's up, brother?
Yeah, I remember. What was that? You? I was watching it. I think we played it last week, didn't we? Or I remember watching that though with you.
Siri thought I was talking to her again.
Hello there.
I ain't talking to you, Siri. Shut the hell up.
Mind your damn business,
turn those things off on your phone, man. They're always snooping on you, man. Even if you're not talking to them, if you start talking about being hungry or something, start sending you advertisements and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what? That's the first time a while ago when Steve and I were backstage, right before we came on, she started talking. First time it's ever done that, and then here again it starts it. You know, it's the first time it's ever done it.
Mine does it all the time. The Google one. I'm afraid to say it, but yeah, like at least once a day. And all of a sudden I hear my phone going, "Sorry, I didn't catch." I'm like, I wasn't talking. Shut up. Mind your business. Wasn't talking to you.
Yep.
I got to get a napkin. My nose is trying.
But yeah, same thing with like how you were saying where the money goes and stuff. That's like out here, Marcus, with the what is it, 12 billion for that rail now?
Real? Yeah, I heard the stories about that when I first got out here, man. I was like, what? And they've been building this thing for how long? Right.
You know? They pretty much since I first moved here 15 years ago, that's when it was like just starting to go underway.
Right.
And but you know, it's not really I mean, it is 12 billion, but not all 12 billion is going, you know, like people are pocketing a good
man, maybe a quarter of that money has actually gone towards a project. That's the sad thing, you know. And I mean, they're still building on it. You know, have you seen the end of it yet?
And Capole, that side I have, but I know they're working on it by the airport. Yeah, it just stops. It's like that's it.
Just stops. I was like, what? Like, what happened? You know?
Right.
It's like a scene from a movie. You know, you just see this long, and then it just cuts off. You know, it's like, what in the world is going on here?
Yep. Just imagine, like, for everyone in chat and Ronnie, just imagine like whatever you call it, like a elevated highway or whatever, like above ground, and you're driving and it just stops. Literally, that's what the end of it is. There's no like, and it's like, yep, that's it. That's where we're ending it. It's like,
hey, that's what they're good at in California, building bridges and things to nowhere. They're very good at that. But you know, the thing about it with the wall was now when Trump was in office, it was the Corps of Engineers that building the wall.
Okay.
They were the ones that were building it. It wasn't just everyday contractors. So, you know, they were getting paid by the Army, whatever they got paid, or military, whatever branch they're from.
Right.
But so there wasn't I ain't saying there wasn't some kickbacking going on there, but there couldn't have been a lot because like I said, the Corps of Engineers was doing it. Now, the state of Texas has been building a lot more of the wall. Now, with them, who the hell knows? It probably is a lot of crookedness going on there. And I don't know how you feel about Trump, Marcus, but if anybody else would have been in Washington in charge at the time, there ain't no telling how many different contractors they would have had on that job charging a fee for the whole thing.
Yeah.
See, and with in the chat where Craig Jacob, I almost agree with you 100%. The government is the biggest criminal organization in the world, but my personal opinion is HOA. HOAs are the biggest criminal organizations in the world than the government.
That's the same difference, ain't it?
But they're worse, man. I think so.
I definitely agree with that government thing, man. It's I was listening to something this morning, and they were talking about how the government. I think it was about paid education. So folks want to get degrees and things, and how I forget the gentleman's name, but he basically just talked about how folks are going out and they're getting these student loans and they're trying to go get this career or whatever, and folks, once you got that career, say for instance for a doctor. A lot of people look at a doctor and be like, oh man, they're highly successful, but doctors sometimes are struggling just like the everyday common person. They're just on a much higher pay scale. They go out and get things that they can't necessarily afford on top of having this $1 million in student debt or 100,000, whatever amount it is. And what a lot of folks don't understand is that money that you're paying toward that student. So if you look at the government's streams of income, student debt is at the top of that list. So you're paying back this money, and a lot of that money is going to the government. So they're telling you to do this or whatever to keep you in that, what they call that the rat race. You're trying to climb the corporate ladder, but you're doing it the wrong way. Because you're coming out of your pocket, going really deep into debt in order to try to make more money. And then what you do, you go out and get you a nice car. You go out and buy you a nice house, and now you're even deeper in debt than what some are. So it's just you got to be educated, and they're not teaching financial education in schools, man. They're teaching you how to go and get a job, go get education, but they're not teaching you how to manage your money. So a lot of folks get caught up just spending without any thought going into it, and then you find yourself 5-10 years from now, like, how did I get here? So that's why I say during the pandemic I kind of slowed down and I really paid attention to things, and I look back on my life, man, and I'm like, man, had I just done this, I would be here now. Yep. So it's
that's actually you had a video the other day about that, and I was like, man, I know for sure, like if I would have just done this or that. And I think someone commented like what specifically in it, like, because it's like, no, if I would have known the game and about money instead of just
money game.
Yeah. And they're like, what specifically? I'm like, what do you like? I didn't get what their comment meant, but I got what you were saying right away, because I was like, yeah, man, because I just
when I was in the Army, they had a class. I don't remember, this class went on for 2 or 3 months about how to manage your money. And I forgot most of it, just to be honest with you, but they did give us all a class on how to manage our money. And we couldn't make up our own mind if we wanted to go or not. They made our minds up for us. We had to go. But it was a pretty interesting class once you got into it a little bit. And it's just for me, I know how to spend $1, and I know how to spend a 20, and I know how much change I ought to get back and all that. But when you go to talking about money in general, and how it can get confusing in a hurry, man.
Man, real fast. Yep.
It can, particularly when you bring in the stock market and how to make money there, if there is really a way. I mean, I guess there is, but I've never tried it. Well, I take it back. I did try it one time too and lost money. So,
hey, Ronnie, do you know where one of the worst places you can keep your money is?
The bank.
The worst place to keep your money.
The bank.
Man, that is the worst place to have your money sitting. And a lot of folks understand that banks are not for you. They want you to save your money, but the first thing they do with your money when you put it into a bank is they give your money away.
Oh yeah, that's what they're there for.
And they put it in other things so that they can make money, and they're paying you a micro percentage of what they're lending it out for, So, you're and then with inflation and stuff like that, your money's not doing anything but losing money, So you're losing money keeping it in the bank. So that's one of the things I recently learned, and I'm like, man, it makes so much more sense now.
Well, and too, what they do with all of our money is that they got what's called fractional spending, so or loaning, whichever way you want to look at it. But if they take in if they have $100,000 in assets, where they can loan out, say, a million, but it's because it goes by fractions. However much money they got, they can loan out way more. Any bank,
way more. Yep, that's how we have all these banking crises.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep.
Well, isn't that too why like offshore or offshore accounts and stuff? Isn't that why a lot of like people with money do that, because America can't touch it and the banks can't touch it?
Oh yeah, they send money offshore. All the rich people do.
Oh yeah, you have to. Yep.
Yeah, but I think they're all. If they hadn't already been caught, they're going to be caught. I mean, it's just a matter of
someone knows. Someone always knows.
Oh yeah, and they'll pay for it one way or the other, whether it's in this life or the next.
Right. Yeah.
And I can't say as I blame them for trying to beat income taxes and all that. But until we can all do the same thing, well, then it shouldn't be fair, in my opinion, for them to do it when we can't.
That's right. I mean, that's the big thing, man. If you and I get caught stealing some money from somewhere or whatever, we'll be locked up. But unfortunately, the more money that you got, the more you can get away with. So that's why a lot of these folks with money, man, they think they can, and you're seeing it, just in the world now. A lot of these folks are getting exposed, where your money's not long enough to keep your secrets anymore. So then once you're a liability, they're probably gonna turn up dead somewhere, But I mean, it's shameful, that the common person are the ones that are going to jail and suffering all these different punishments, for the same thing that the upper elites are doing, So, but that's
well, if the upper elites, if they ever get caught to get charged anything, which they do get caught, but the problem is not in them catching them, it's in when they try them, they're generally always found innocent, because
they're paying their way out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they all know each other, and they're all, one hand washes the other, both hands wash the face. So
you can get away with murder. I mean, look at Alec Baldwin. Guy's got money, got away with murder, right?
I hope the hell they still hang that dude. We'll see, but I mean, if you ask me, I don't know how in the world they could not find him guilty. He had the gun. Everybody's seen him do it.
Right. That's money.
How could you not think that he was guilty of murder, or at least shooting the person on purpose?
It's money, because he did get away with it. As far as I know, it's like done and over with. He's back to his normal life.
He probably will get off with it. It would be nice to see him get one guy like him that has actually committed a big time crime and actually send his ass to prison. At least in my opinion, it would be great.
Sends a message,
Yes. Oh, Craig the Hunter's here.
Oh, Craig, what's up, Craig?
He was taking a nap. My voice woke him up. Well, good. You didn't need to rest anymore, Craig. How you doing, Craig? Good to see you, bro. Craig's our resident comic, Marcus. I mean,
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said Craig is our resident comic. He's
okay.
One of the funniest guys you'll ever meet.
Okay.
Yeah, Craig is great, man. He's a fun dude.
He is, no doubt.
He's got a good channel too. He's got a great channel.
But he always
he's on YouTube also.
But he spreads rumors about me being a troublemaker, and I don't get that.
No way.
I just troublemaker for Craig, no one else.
I don't know how Craig does it though, because he'll do a live stream and he's like, all right, 1 hour. And then he does it, and at 1 hour mark, it's like click, just ends it. Like, wait, where'd you go?
Yeah, you better not be in the middle of a sentence, because he will cut you off right there and end the show. He says now his excuse for doing that is he don't want to give YouTube any more of his time than what he agreed on in his head to begin with.
Okay.
No.
I just don't have the self-discipline to do it. I couldn't just hit end.
Yeah, and see, Marcus, when we first started doing this, when Steve and I first started doing this, our set goal, our time limit was 2 hours.
Okay.
That's what we were going to do. No more than 2 hours. And I think we met that goal maybe 2 times.
Twice, I think. Yeah.
And all the time we've been doing it.
Yeah, I think last week I kind of watched you guys stream. I was actually like doing some yard work and cutting cutting some folks' grass and stuff. And I had y'all in my headphones. Man. I wasn't actually watching, but I was listening to the whole thing, man. I think you guys' last week's show was I was like, man. I said, yeah, I got to get on with these guys, man. I like you guys. I like the way y'all talking, man. It's definitely down my alley for real.
We must not have been talking about anything very serious last week. I know Terry was on. I remember that, but. Now, generally, we're talking about some, on my channel. I mean, this is my channel that I'm on today, but when I got my regular show going, it's about politics and stuff.
Okay.
All the time. So, I mean, I don't know if you like my politics or not, but I'm into it pretty heavily. Steve's not. I mean, Steve's not a political guy.
Yeah.
I used to be, but you forgot the part where Ronnie's on his like 7th channel because YouTube doesn't like what he talks about, so they keep taking his channel away.
That's true.
The truth hurts, man. They will shut you down.
They're good at shutting me down. I'm here to tell you. Well, and another guy, he was in just a while ago. Hawk. He's lost. I think it's 23 or 24 channels now.
What?
He's just showing out though.
Yeah.
Seriously. Well, he's on. He's on 24 now, but he had to skip 23 for some reason or another. I don't remember why it was, but you're on Steve's, Craig. What you doing on Steve's?
I knew you loved me, Craig. I knew you loved me.
Dang, now I won't even get Craig's like. What's wrong with you, Craig?
The other thing to get from YouTube is that blue box. You know, you get that blue box underneath, like, sometimes it'll say, "Oh, COVID-19," the whatever, or the only time I got one, it was the flat Earth, because I had a Forge and Thought on and Citizen Man, and I was honored. I was like, dude, I got the blue box finally. It's like, because I didn't get a strike, but I got the blue box. So,
well, explain to me what the blue box is again. I know you explained before, but I forgot.
It's basically YouTube saying this is the truth about what this video is. What they're talking about in the video, the blue box is like, this is what is what they say the actual truth is.
Right.
Oh, well, they didn't give me that courtesy.
It's online with everything now. Like if you throw a post up and they have these algorithms that pick up on certain keywords and stuff. If you post a comment on someone's video or whatever, and you mention COVID or something, it'll pop up and it'll say, basically trying to make sure that you're telling the truth, and it'll warn you not to be putting out misinformation, so they're monitoring everything, man. And if you have a channel, and you're talking about this stuff, they're gonna screen it, and then like I say, they'll block it, or they'll completely just cancel the video, so it's all heavy.
Yeah, they done it to me just a couple of weeks ago, Marcus. I was showing a video, and this was the video was going to give both sides the flat Earth debate. The flat Earth's point of view and the globe Earth's point of view.
Right.
They shut me down about 5 or 10 minutes into the video, and what it turned out to be, at least the way I understood it, was that they did that because they want me to check into all the videos I play before I play them and make sure that somebody else hadn't added, the person I'm showing the video of, that person hasn't used somebody else's video in making his. I thought, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to do that. No, I ain't. But,
I want to play this hour-long video, but I'm going to watch an hour-long video first.
And then then you got to, research to make sure that guy that put out the video didn't use somebody else's video in making his. It's just totally stupid. And yes, YouTube, I'm talking to y'all.
It's too confusing for me.
You better watch out there, Ronnie. They're going to shut you down.
Won't be the first time.
Well, shit, man. Last time they didn't even, because normally they'll give you a warning, then you get a strike, then a second strike, and then the third strike, they shut you down. Last time, he didn't even get a warning. They were just like, nope, there's that channel.
Yeah, it's two of
the whole thing.
There was 2 channels they done at the same time too. My main channel and the backup channel. They took them both.
Definitely watching
IP
them.
address and all.
Yeah.
I mean, they even took my IP address, man. I mean,
That's
come
crazy.
on. It
That is
is, but
crazy.
they did.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm about to start doing some streams on my channel too. Most of my video, or I guess most of what I've been doing lately is shorts and stuff. But I've been wanting to get into the live streaming and just doing podcasts and stuff like this. So, but I can see the same thing is probably going to happen to me because I mean I'm not going to play along with your rules. It's just if there's something I want to talk about, I'm not going to just go along with their narrative. I'm gonna speak the way that I feel. And if they don't like the way I feel, then hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, hey, that's exactly the way I feel. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, let me ask you, Craig, if you were sitting watching a video of someone, let's say you really like this person and you were watching their video, but if they started talking about something that you didn't agree with at all, would you sit there and watch that video? Would you turn the channel, or would you, send in to YouTube?
Report
this
them.
Person says, yeah,
they're saying something I don't agree with.
Yeah, take them off. People do that shit all the time.
I turn the damn channel. I'm like, oh, all right, this ain't for me.
Just go to something else. Right, exactly.
That's it. It's that simple. But
I like that double dog.
Yeah, so do I. That's why I put it up there. Exactly. But that's what they do all the time, and it's just it's opinion, Ain't that what the United States is supposed to be based on? Is freedom of speech and stuff like that.
Yep.
Well, I mean, think of all the soldiers that have went to foreign wars and died for this country. So for those very reasons, freedom of speech and stuff like that, and yet we still don't have it.
Yep.
Yeah. But every time they want to get us into a war, that's what they always use, as something like, well, you're going to lose your rights here. No, they're the ones that are taking our rights. Not the people overseas they're claiming we got to go to war with. Right.
If it's even real or not. And I think it's if you look at the cycle of history, man, it's all this stuff is pre-planned. They knew 2 years ago there's going to be a war this year. All this stuff is it's never a surprise. It's history always repeats itself. In the next 4 years, when there's another election, something else is going to come up, and there's going to be a new pandemic. Unfortunately, there's going to be another something that comes up. I mean, they tried to get us with that monkeypox.
Yeah,
but I don't think anybody took it serious, man. I was like, monkeypox, like, get out of here with this bullshit. Nobody wants to hear that,
After all the shit with the COVID, then monkeypox, they're like, fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. I definitely didn't take it serious. When I started hearing that stuff, I said, man, I'm not even going to pay attention to this, like, whatever, If it gets me, it gets me,
I just got to say something here. Now, I just give Craig a wrench. I don't know why I did that, because he won't give me one on his channel. I go in there and he won't even say hi. No, I didn't know you didn't have a wrench, Craig. I'd already give you one, but you better give me one on your channel now. Well, he don't even look at the chat though, so
yeah, me too, Craig.
I think you got one, Steve, but I don't.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, I do.
He can't keep
I take
up
it back,
with all
Craig.
the
I love you, Craig.
He can't keep up with all the channels that I'm on. I mean, it's no mortal man could. I mean,
it is hard. It's hard for me, and we talk on the phone all the time. So
yeah,
you give me all right, here's my new one, and then I go to look for it, and I still can't find it. But
no, Craig, I don't have one.
Your subscribers back, and
I had one on the last channel, Craig. But then when I lost the channel, I had to get a new name. Well, it's still Ronnie, but it just ain't got the York on the end. So
right,
get in there and give me a ring, Craig.
So when you search for it, when you search for Ronnie York, you can't find the channel now. You have to put facts, Ronnie Facts.
Right. Ronnie's Fact, that's right.
And then it's the first thing that pops up.
You watch. I guarantee you now, when I go into Craig's, when he's on again, and I still won't have a wrench. Can't even drop a link, my own link. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Chap.
people are like, "Oh, Ronnie, you got your new backup channel up. What's the link?" And then you're like, "Talk to Craig." I don't know.
Hey, baby girl. Hey, daddy's busy. Okay. Hey. Oh.
Hey, aloha, Pendar.
Now that brings up a question right there. Was that mama or a child?
That was my daughter. Yeah, she's 5 years old, going on 21.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Hello, Auntie.
Pendar. Pendar, aloha, and thank you. Thank you. Pendar just became a member. Actually, Pendar, I'm having a members only live stream this Thursday, so cool. Hopefully you can make it to that.
So that means I won't be there because he won't give me a membership.
Ronnie, you have access to my StreamYard. You can show up anytime you want, man.
Yeah, but you kick me
You're
out
always
of it.
invited. You don't have to be a member. You're always invited. He's got special benefits.
I sure do. I just wish he was a pretty woman with those special benefits. I might fly to Hawaii then. I'd find the money. And see, now, Marcus, here's the thing. About a year or two ago, we started up this fundraiser, for me to get the money to get a ticket to go to visit him in Hawaii.
Okay.
I think I got 37 cents in that account now or something like that. That's 2 years ago now.
I needed cigarettes.
That's hell,
I
ain't
always forget about that. Ronnie didn't forget about it, though. We're going to get you out here, though, Ronnie. We're going to get you out
man,
here.
I'm waiting. Well, see, now we got Marcus in the circle, too. So maybe y'all can get together over there and start doing a fundraiser for me over there so I can finally get there.
Hey, I'll get behind that fundraiser, man.
All right, sounds good to me. If I ever get the money together to go to Hawaii, believe me, I'd go.
Hey,
what does a round trip plane ticket cost? Say when your dad buys one, Steve. What is it? Do you know what he spends?
I'm not sure. I remember the last time I went to in 2020 for my sister's funeral when I went. Love you, Stacy. It was August of 2020, and the round trip. I went for 2 weeks, and the round trip was like right around $1,100 or $1,200. But I also bumped up my seat, so I wasn't sitting coach. You know what I mean?
Well, you can afford that. You're a plumber. I mean, I ain't a plumber.
So I couldn't afford it at the time, but I hate flying, and it's a long flight to Detroit and back. So I'm like, I might as well be comfortable. Plus, that was during the pandemic. So I had to wear a mask on a plane, and every time I took it off, I got yelled at. And I was like, oh, mother, give me a parachute. I'm jumping out, man. Get some fresh air.
So you weren't getting drunk on a plane. You were wearing a mask on a plane.
I got drunk before I went on the plane, but I couldn't get drunk on a plane because they weren't even serving anything.
Man, that's rotten now when they don't serve drinks on a plane, especially that long of a flight.
No, well, they normally do, but because of the whole pandemic bullshit, it was like, man.
Well, what did that have to do with serving drinks, though?
What's that?
What did the pandemic have to do with serving drinks?
Well, they were, but it wasn't like normal. It was like they come like normally when I fly before then, and well, I really haven't flown after, but it'd be, especially if you sit first class, it's like, hey, give me another. They're right there. But this time they're just like, no, we're busy. We'll come and check on you every hour. Like when I was, in jail, like we'll come by every hour and ask if you want a menthol or a regular. So yeah, it sucks. And then they yell at me because I didn't wear my mask. I keep pretending to put it back on. I'm like, I paid money for this flight. Why are you treating me like an inmate, assholes? Yeah, who said that? Someone said around 1,300. But that's from Texas. Plus it's 2024 now, so 1,300 round trip from Texas sounds about right. Chessboard said it.
Well, I'm only, let's see, take 30.
You're only $1,299 and what? 20. I don't know. I can't do
63 cents away.
Right.
Well, whatever it is, if I ain't dead before we get that money saved up, well, I'll go to Hawaii. If not, well, I guess Steve can pass it on to the next person that wants to come.
One or two things. We're gonna get you here, or if me and Nina can do our mainland van life vacation, which I want to do so bad, but everything costs money that we don't have. But if we do that, we're definitely gonna come to you.
Right,
And
that'll
hang
work
out
too.
with you for sure.
That'll work too. Now you can go somewhere and buy me a beer that I'll just hand back to you because I don't drink anymore. But you know, it's it's the thought that counts.
That works. That works.
Just be sure and get a Heineken.
Oh yeah. I won't have a green screen there though, so you actually be able to see it.
There you go. Well, Marcus, I hadn't seen you light a cigarette or anything yet, so I'm taking it you don't smoke.
Nah, I drink water, man. That's what I drink all day, every day, man. A whole lot of water.
That stuff will rust you, don't you know that?
Right.
That's what it gets on the outside, and the inside is a little bit different, I think. No, but yeah, just never really picked up smoking cigarettes now. You know, not really gonna speak on what I do smoke from time to time, but you know, that's another video, I guess.
Well, hey,
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, you'd be surprised. I think everybody in here, well, maybe not everybody, but a good many people in here do the same thing.
Everybody but me. That's the thing, and that's the story of my entire life. Everyone I know smokes, except, and I got nothing against it. I'm actually 100% for it. I get paranoid, so I kind of
this
can't.
guy right here, he would say that you're wrong if you accused him of smoking, because he does more than smoke.
Yeah,
he throws it. He does everything.
Oh,
Chap's a good dude,
it's that's pretty cool though, man. I just a lot of, I guess not until I was how old was I, man? I was about 38, 39 the first time I had to smoke, you know, so never would, you know, a lot of folks started in their teen years and stuff, you know, but me, it just guess I wanted to be more established or something. I don't know.
Craig says it helps to be high when you watch me. You're probably right, Craig.
You know what? Speaking of the smoking and drinking, and I know Creek's been listening the whole time while he's at work, but I just seen him pop in chat. Well, real quick, Creek said, hi to Marcus and good to meet you. Creek's my other buddy that I do a lot of live streams with, but
okay.
Bud Light. What does everyone think about the Shane Gillis, the conservative comedian that was kicked off of SNL and canceled basically because he was too conservative for comedy? He is now the spokesperson for Bud Light. So he's like saving Bud Light and bring up. So Creek, you can drink Bud Light again. I think. I don't know.
Did he ever
quit? Boycott, but
I didn't know Craig quit. I'm Craig. I didn't know Craig quit drinking Bud Light.
No, he quit drinking Bud Light. He drinks Coors Light now. But when that whole Bud Light thing happened and everyone started boycotting it, Creek was like, "Fuck that! I don't drink that shit. Drink Coors Light."
But I know, but I know he tells everybody he drinks Coors Light, but I think he still
tells
Bud
everybody
Light.
that. Creek, don't do it, Mr. B.
He said F Bud Light.
But there's more to it than just what I said, because I looked into it and I don't know. I kind of agree with what I heard, because Bud Light's always been an American beer. It's always been the king of beers. It's always been, American. And basically what happened was, well, this is what I heard. I don't know if I'm not saying anything's true. I'm just repeating what I heard, that, so Bud Light, they get like an advertising agency or company or whatever to do their advertising. And that advertising agency made a freaking horrible choice, obviously. But then think back how long Bud Light's been here. They made one bad mistake and it almost freaking shut the company down. You know what I mean? So
they should have known it was going to, though. I mean, how stupid can you be?
They immediately fired that, which I never knew this either till like a week ago, but they immediately fired the advertising agency after all that happened. And they've just been trying to build their company back since. But either that or that's just bullshit. And they just got Shane Gillis because they're like, well, that didn't work. Let's go the exact opposite and get this conservative guy that was canceled for being too conservative. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
Well, D-Dog now, he says that Coors Light, now listen real close now, Creek, because D-Dog says Coors Light has been pro-homo for the last 15 years.
choice of words.
Bud Light used to make fun of trans stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, they've always been the American. Yeah, I don't know. I don't drink Bud Light or Coors Light, so I don't know.
I don't either. I just like to tease Creek about it.
Yeah, I like to. Creek.
Is Bud Light a Bud? Yeah, Budweiser is a publicly traded company, right?
I have no idea myself.
I'm pretty sure they are. So with my mindset and the way I understand the way that the stocks and the markets work now, anytime you see something like this, what I was speaking on earlier, how someone always knows, there's always money to be made. So when these bad articles come out, they know that the Budweiser stock is going to tank when this stuff happens, So with my assumption, and this is all speculation, I think that someone already knew that this stuff was going to come out with Bud Light or Budweiser as a company, and they went short on the market of them. And somebody made a whole lot of money when this stuff came out. There's always a money trail, So this stuff gets leaked or they make the mistake or whatever. It's all pre-planned. They have boards and stuff to speak and talk about this stuff. So when that stuff came out, somebody made a whole lot of money. And that's what it usually boils down to. Especially with all these companies that are publicly traded. They go up, they go down, and then they use the news to justify the reaction in the stock market. So Bud Light will be back. It'll be an American staple. It'll be on commercials and stuff, and halftime Super Bowl shows, and it's just one of those cycles. Just like the world is in. It's in the cycle. So,
well, if it's not on the Super Bowl halftime show, then something is really wrong, because the NFL and all that, they're just one big ball with each other.
It's all about money. All about money.
Yeah, I think I heard y'all mention that last week too. Y'all kind of got on that topic of how the Super Bowl, everything's all pre-planned. They know who's going to win.
Yeah.
It's all rigged. All rigged.
Yep, and that's definitely my opinion. It's all set up and well in advance. They got a script, to go by.
Yep.
Kind of like wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, there's people in the chat. Well, I don't know if they're here today or not, but boy,
I don't want to offend nobody. Talking about that wrestling.
We do it all the time, but
all you got to do to piss anyone off is either bring up wrestling's fake or flat Earth.
Boom.
Flat Earth.
Just lit the wick right there.
Yeah.
You sure do. That's all you got to do, man. Sometimes all you got to say is L-feed, and you'll get L-feed.
Yeah, JS Urban's Urban Adventures. He said Bud is the stock. I think that might be the stock ticker for Budweiser's company, BUD. So, man, when you see the bad news come out, a lot of folks, they'll jump online and they'll talk crap about it. But people with the money, they're going in there and they're going short the stock. And they're making money off of it. And then they'll probably go home and crack open the beer and drink what they're what they're talking about. So I got to kind of understand what's going on.
As long as they're in control, they're going to make money. If they steal it or whatever they got to do, they're going to make it. They're going to have the money.
Yep.
Big piles of it. That's one thing. It's when and our money supply is going to go bust. The dollar that we're spending now at some point is going to go down. And it would tickle me to see how much money that these guys have got stored up of this money that ain't going to be any good, for long. And just to see the expression on their face.
You heard about BRICS, right? All these different countries are all coming together now with their own currency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the U.S. currency is not what it used to be. We've always been, the number one superpower, but it's a daily basis. People are trying to knock us off our pedestal. And we got to be careful. Because they, I guess last year they reclassified what a recession is, in terms of the definition, just so that the American people just didn't panic. But we're technically in a recession now. But the markets are going up, of course. But they they changed the definition last year, and it was like, oh, recession is classified as this, and a lot of people are like, okay, well, there's money to be made, but like I said, a lot of folks got to be real careful, because they can pull a rug pull on us real quick, and things get real crazy, so just watch out for all the stuff that's going on. There's a lot of new cryptos and stuff coming out, and you can make money on the upside. Just be smart and don't get caught sleeping.
Oh, for sure. But the thing is, with this money, you better have already done something, because the money we got now is going away. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, so I ain't gonna tell anybody what to do. I'll say what I did, and that's about what silver and gold I could buy.
Yeah,
which wasn't a hell of a lot, but I did buy a little.
Right.
Hey, Ronnie, I put that one that who was it? The Double Dog put.
Oh, okay.
I got that down below.
Okay, yeah, I pulled it same way. I didn't know you pulled it up. Here we go.
It's only 30 seconds, but I remember this commercial too. It's a good one.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh no, it's Ted from accounting.
Look like Creek to me. Not Ted.
Like,
sorry, Creek.
I remember that commercial. That was what, from the 80s or 90s or something?
It's been a while back. I remember it too. I just don't remember when it was from.
Yeah, I remember that commercial. That was a long time ago.
I agree, Craig. Those two are pretty good investments right now, anyway.
Silver and lead.
Silver and lead. Silver's for the vampires, lead's for anybody. Oh, man. Creek,
man, just so many people coming in. I can't keep up with chat. We got what over 80 people here. I can't, and 2 different chats. That's what's screwing me up.
Well, 78 is what I'm showing.
78. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what I don't guess this will show the likes on your channels. I'm showing 65 likes. What do you got, Steve?
Oh, and yours? Oh shoot. I gotta refresh yours because it's still stuck at 3 from the beginning.
Well, I know mine's showing 65. I just wonder what yours is showing.
Oh,
I don't know if they both show the same thing or not, is what I'm getting at.
No, it's let's see. Yeah, yours is 65, mine's 33.
Okay, so that's 98. That ain't bad for 2 old country boys. Well, I don't know if you're a country boy or not. I am.
Nah, I'm more a city boy. But
well, you should have moved to country and raised some goats or something for a little while.
I like the country. I like taking time off and going up North Michigan and in the middle of the woods and just the peace and quiet. But after like a week of that, I'm like, all right, I need to be around busy shit.
But when you got 8 brothers and sisters, that kind of stuff don't bother you. I mean, you're around plenty of people, even though you're way out in the country. And you got all them brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Man, that's a lot of brothers and sisters, man.
Well, I had 7. I made the 8th one. 1993, the commercial, and silver is the commercial. And the silver is for the werewolves. Vampires got a wooden stake. Demons and pedos get the lead. Right on, chap. Right on.
Well said, brother. Chat's got it. Chat knows what's up.
Yeah, he does. He must have done smoked him a joint today or something. Have you ever heard of stuff called RSO, Marcus?
Say RSO?
Yeah.
Not that familiar. What exactly is that?
Well, what it is it's a marijuana plant, or the buds or whatever that you smoke. Okay. Oh. But anyway, they take that, and now this is my understanding. I could have this wrong, but they put it in some kind of a blender or something, and pour whiskey over it, and the whiskey seeps down and makes this juice, which looks like tar. I mean, it literally looks like tar,
Right.
And it tastes far worse.
Mm.
But what it's for is for curing cancer and stuff like that. Well, I just happen to have lung cancer, so I'm giving it a whirl. But it stands for Rick Simpson oil. Oh, wrong one, right there.
Rick Simpson oil.
But I'm here to tell you, man, what I don't like about it, other than the taste, and the taste is absolutely horrible. I mean, it's worse than horrible. Yeah. But it makes it. I mean, I sleep, man. I can go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, and don't wake up the next afternoon at 3 o'clock. I mean, it does make.
And it's strictly medicinal. I like the way the Hawk explained it the best for me, anyway, because he explained it like, you know how like in the old movies when someone needed to call someone, they call the operator, and then they show the operator, and they got that big board, and they're like, "Oh, I'll plug you in." Like that board is your body, and when you take the RSO, it goes directly and just works on where you plug it in, basically, you know.
Yeah, on that illness.
That makes sense.
No, it does. I wish I could have said it that good. But the thing of it is the side effects, I guess you'd call them. And for me, I mean, I don't mind the sleeping now because I'm bad insomniac. But what gets me is when I go to sleep, I sleep forever. And, you know, it seems like it anyway. When I wake up the next day, then I got no time left to do whatever it was I was wanting to do. So it's got its good points and its bad points.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, do you feel like it does you more harm than good or no?
Well, I hadn't had any tests to show one way or the other yet, but I hope it's doing me more good than harm. But, you know, I just think that to me, you know, trying something like that instead of going through all this chemotherapy and radiation and crap, which I know I've seen many people that's been through both of those. Mm-hmm. And they always wind up having to go back for more treatment, and they still wind up dying. Plus, they're going through all this pain and misery that the chemo and radiation did. So that's why I chose to go this way. Now, I ain't telling anybody which way to go. I'm just saying that's why I did.
Right.
I would choose that way too, personally, just because it's more natural.
It is way more natural. And,
but real quick, Ronnie, I had to refresh mine too. I'm at 53.
Oh, right on.
So it's over 100. Over 100.
Right on. Maybe we'll get Marcus some more business in here.
Yeah, I think a bunch of people said they subscribe to him.
Hey, well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, all you folks out there. So I haven't posted in about a week or so though, but I need to get back on it starting tomorrow though.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, it's rough, man, especially with work, because I like to do videos too, but the editing takes time. You know, it's like
that's the biggest thing. You got to sit still and you got to do the editing, and that's like a couple of hours, you know, at a minimum, probably, you know, with a good 10-minute video. You know, you got to chop it up. Yep. You got to make sure it sounds correct. It's a lot of work, but I'm definitely on it though.
Exactly. I mean, that new because I like to switch up my intro or outro or whatever, like every few weeks or every month or so. And the one I just put out recently, I should have put more time into it, but with work and all that shit, so I want to say 3.5 hours, and it's 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So, but yeah, so just a 2-minute video takes time with editing.
Yeah.
No, Miss Minor Sue, I haven't yet. I'm gonna have to get one done here pretty quick though. I have to call and make an appointment, I guess. They're supposed to call me if they have it. But anyway, I haven't had any tests yet. And Devil Dog says, I have a friend that did chemo 3 times in 5 years. Then he did RSO and has been cancer-free for over 10 years. Well, wonderful. I'm hoping it does the exact same thing for me.
Yeah, it's you know, the crazy thing is there, Ronnie, that, you know, a lot of these more natural remedies for like curing different ailments, man, they don't advertise this stuff, man. And there's a lot of cures out there for a lot of different ailments too, but they're not going to put that out there because, like they say, there's no money in the cure, you know. So
that's
I'm sure
exactly right.
Tools, you know, different cancers and stuff that they have cures for. But once you cure it, I mean,
there goes the money.
Yeah, every patient that's cured is a customer lost.
That's it. Exactly. That's exactly
Damn
right.
sure is. And you got to understand, it's not just the pharmaceutical company. It's not just the hospital. It's all those doctors, you were going to see that are losing. Yeah. Yep. Every one of them. I mean, they're all losing money when they actually cure you. So they're going to try not to do that.
Right. There's no money in the cure. So yeah, man. That's why I encourage you to definitely, keep exploring your options, because going to a doctor, they're only going to teach what they're told, and
exactly.
Big money is what puts it in their pocket, So it's kind of like with the what was that, the epidemic, the opioid, and that's not even fully, behind us, it's just not in the news anymore. But there's still people that are going to these doctors and getting these pills every single day,
That's what almost ruined my life, the opioids. I mean, I've been clean from that 11 years now, but my doctor, I'm just like, I'd make up anything, and they're like, yeah, here. I'm like, dude, I can get this shit so easy. And then next thing you know, I'm taking 18, 20 Vicodins a day, and just literally killing myself. I don't know how I didn't die, but and the doctors would just happily give it to me.
I think that the pain medicines, all of them have their place, and uses. I mean, for people that are in a lot of pain, and on death's door, you darn right they need them. But for this epidemic that was going on, people just getting them to get high on everything and wind up killing themselves. That's a totally different another story there.
Completely different story. Yep. It's just and like you say, I mean, at some point, you're in need of it. But at some point you got to be like, okay, you know what? Now it's been long enough, But it's past that point to where you can even make that decision for yourself. Now you're sick if you don't have it, So it's
withdrawals are the fucking worst.
Yeah, I know that I still have, even though the RSO, I'm sure is helping, with the pain that I have some. I don't know how much it is. It's helping because I don't want to quit taking it to see. I want it to do what I want it to do. Right. But I still have a lot of pain, and so I take the painkillers for that. And I don't care who knows it. I do take them. Don't judge anybody until you walk a mile in their shoes.
Right. No, that's the thing. There's a difference from taking it because you need it or taking it because you're abusing it. And Ronnie, you take it because you need it. I used to take it because I was abusing the living shit out of it. Trust me, I was.
Yeah, I know. So, I have to agree. That's not the way anything's meant to be taken. I mean, it's like eating a candy bar. And man, that candy bar is delicious. I think I'm gonna have 100 more of it. It's gonna make you sicker than hell, if not kill you.
Yeah.
Too much of anything is not good for you. You can drink too much water and it'll kill you.
Yeah.
There you go. Water. Exactly.
Yep. That's true.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't be ashamed. No one should be ashamed of actually needing their medication. It's just like you say, once,
exactly.
If it does become a problem, and it's hopefully people around you kind of step in by, hey, are you sure you're taking that on the regular schedule and when you're supposed to, So, but man,
yeah. Well, and I live by myself, so I don't have anybody here to try to watch or supervise or anything, which I wouldn't even want that. I'm plenty capable of taking care of myself still. But when I get to that point, I'll definitely want somebody here. If I hope I don't get to that point, but if I do, I know everybody that's in this position feels the same way. All you want to do is get well, and get over it. And you don't need, the last thing you need is some half-ass that calls herself doctor telling you don't do this, don't do that, or do this, when just from common sense that ain't good for you. I'll tell you what the radiologist told me when I went and seen him. I was thinking about, not very hard, but I was thinking about, having radiation. And he said, now when we do this radiation, he said, it's going to break at least one rib. I said, why is it going to break at least one rib? I mean, I didn't think it'd break any.
Right.
I didn't think it had anything to do with the ribs. But he said that the tumor was sitting right on top of two ribs, in between those two ribs, more on one than the other. So that when he done the radiation, I guess the radiation eats through the bone. I mean, I don't really know. But because I don't remember if he explained that or not. If he did, I didn't get it. But either way, when he said that, I said, "Well, you can forget it right now. Then I ain't having no radiation done. It's gonna
That's
wind up
crazy.
breaking my
Different
ribs."
radiation is gonna break. Wow, that's nuts.
That's
Scary.
definitely what he told me. Well,
They'll
and the
put you
thing
in
is,
more-
you're already having trouble breathing. When you're in my boat, I was already having trouble breathing. And so I'm going to go in there and I've had broken ribs before, and I know they hurt like hell. It keeps you from breathing, because it hurts so bad to breathe.
Yeah, and make sure you don't laugh. Holy fuck, man!
Oh,
Make sure you
no
don't
kidding.
laugh.
Oh, that's another trip pain altogether there. But when you add a broken rib on top of where you are, maybe two, because he said at least one. So if you add two broken ribs on top of the pain you're having just from normal breathing, well, then you're in a world of hurt. That's all there is to it. And would I even make it? That's what I asked him. I said, would I even make it till the ribs got well? Because I'm having trouble breathing now. Well, I don't know. I can't tell you that. Well, you're a doctor. You're supposed to be able to tell me that.
Right.
But he wouldn't, and which I'm glad he didn't, because I'd already made my decision anyway. I wasn't taking no radiation, and damn sure wasn't taking no chemotherapy.
Right.
Now, my younger brother's mother-in-law, she had cancer of the, I guess you'd say the anus. Somewhere along in there. Anyway, she had cancer somewhere in her intestinal tract, and she took chemotherapy. And I'm telling you what, this woman, she went before she had it. She was up to, I guess, about 140 pounds, because she's an older woman, But after she started taking chemo, she went down in no time to, I would guess, about 70 pounds. This woman was nothing but skin and bones.
Man.
Yeah, couldn't eat. And of course, they were giving her pain medicines too, Well, what little she did eat, she couldn't get rid of, the correct way, because the pain medicines were constipating her. Yep. So, well, I ain't going to tell the rest. It wouldn't be nice for me to tell the rest, so I won't. But it's, as far as I might have heard of that. It's bad. I'll go ahead. Whenever a person has to crap out of their mouth, which is what she ended up doing. Yeah, she literally crapped out of her mouth because she couldn't get it out the other way, and she was full, so it had to come out somewhere. So she was literally crapping out of her mouth, and she had called the doctor a day or two before and told him she's having all kinds of stomach pains and everything. He said, "Oh, it's nothing to worry about," just told her some kind of bullshit. So she just went on about her daily life, and then, like I said, a couple of days later, she started pooping out her mouth. I mean, literal turds out her mouth. That is bad.
That's freaking, I can't imagine anyone having to go through that. Like, wow.
I know it's horrible, man. Even think about it. Plus,
oh yeah, you know what? Ronnie, Southeast Wolverines, which is going. I can't see the calendar from here, but he is going to be a guest either next week or the week after. I think the week after. I'm not sure, but anyway, he said seen it a lot because he is. I can't think of his title, but he works. Like
he's a nurse, ain't he?
I think so. Yeah, but I thought there was a certain title for it. But anyway, yeah. So I've never heard of that till just now. So, but
yeah, well, you can. I didn't.
To say he's seen it a lot. That's man.
Yeah, he says he's a nurse. Well, I just know it had to be awful bad, because I've known this woman ever since my little brother and his wife got married, and in her younger days, she was the absolute beauty. I mean, she really was. And to see her now, I hadn't seen her in the last few months, but what she looked like the last time was just, like a walking skeleton, man. It's just extremely sad.
Anyone, a grown adult at 70 pounds, I can visualize that. That's
it's healthy. Bad. And the cancer ain't what got her there. That's the problem. It was the chemo that got her there. And here's another bad thing about chemo is it is again, I'm not passing along I'm not trying to be a doctor here. I'm just passing along what I've read on the bottles of the chemotherapy junk they give you, and that is that it's a cancer-causing agent itself. So why would you want to take something that's supposed to cure cancer when it, in fact, is a cancer causer itself?
Right.
I don't. Dave says the treatment can't be worse than the disease. When you poo from the north, it's a blockage in the gut. You can become septic. Yeah, exactly. She didn't become septic, but it's a miracle she didn't.
Well, on a lighter note, there was someone I grew up with. It's not Dave's not here, man, because I did grow up with Dave, but it's not him.
I
But
don't
this
know how
other
you got
dude,
through it, Dave, but I feel for you.
we'll find out first Sunday of March because Dave will be our guest.
Oh, I got some
You
questions.
can ask
for
all
you,
the
Dave.
questions you want. Find out anything you want.
Got some questions
But-
for you, Dave. Be
But
ready,
this
brother.
other person, he was really addicted, really addicted, really bad to the hokey pokey, but he eventually turned himself around. So sorry, bad dad joke. I was just trying to make someone laugh.
Well, I was just fixing. I was
Yeah,
about to ask you
man, I ain't gonna lie.
what is the hokey pokey?
And you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Uh-huh. Well, Dave says he's got answers for days. Can't wait, Dave. Can't wait. Boy, we're going to let the world know about this guy up here.
As
upper
soon as I
right-hand
set
corner.
that up, and like 10 seconds later, I was like, oh shit, what did I just do? Because I thought about it.
Hey, Lord Spike made a good point too. He said, "Who owns the pharmaceuticals?" That's a good question.
Yeah.
He said politicians. You don't need to get on that boat there.
Well, I do know that some of the bigger. I don't think it's politicians because they get in too much trouble for it. But
Well,
it's
they
people like-
invest.
Oh yeah,
And
they
know
invest.
They know it's
Yeah.
going to be improved because they're the ones signing off on this stuff. You know,
Oh yeah, they definitely invest.
they're voting on it.
But it's people
Nancy
like the
Pelosi.
Rockefellers and Rothschilds and people like that basically own it. And well, it's chemo too, but you know what I'm saying? The pharmaceuticals. But some of that stuff, I tell you what, I think it's more dangerous than just, they talk about how deadly fentanyl is, and I don't doubt that fentanyl is deadly, stuff you get off the street in particular.
Mhm.
But all that stuff is deadly if you take it, the wrong way. It's the most deadly if you take it the right way.
Oh yeah. Shit, I was popping 18 to 20 Vicodins a day and have a fentanyl patch on my stomach. So when I say I don't know how I didn't die, I'm like not exaggerating at all. I
You're
really
sure
don't
lucky
know.
to be here.
Yep.
Well, how come you didn't go higher on the Vicodins? How come you didn't take more? Is this all you could get, or
That's
what?
all I could get. And at that point, I wasn't getting from the doctors anymore. I had to get it off the street. And shit, yeah, it was a very expensive. And that wasn't even really to get high. It was just to feel normal, just because of the withdrawals. I mean, you're taking that much opioids. I'd wake up, pop, 2 Vicodins, the highest milligram, or they call them Norcos or whatever, and in the morning just to get rid of my headache, and then an hour later I'd pop 2 more just to feel normal, and then an hour later I'd pop 2 more to maybe like feel a little bit better, maybe a little buzz, and then I'd slap on a fentanyl patch, and then I would feel it when I did the fentanyl patch. But then after I got clean and looked back and thought about it, I'm like, dude, like, Jesus, man, that's like getting in the electric chair and just saying juice me up, because I really don't know how my liver didn't give out, how I didn't just drop dead. I don't know. God wants me here for something.
That's
I'm still
exactly
trying to
what I was
figure
going
that
to
out.
say.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, Steve. I mean, it's like holding a loaded, playing Russian roulette, and that hammer land on a live round, in the right cylinder, and yet the bullet it don't go off. The gun don't go off.
Yep.
Well, why is that? It's got to be because God wasn't ready for you to come home yet. That's my way of looking at things, anyway.
Right.
Because
I'm still just trying to figure out why, but that's why every day I try to always
you
think
had to meet
positive.
Miss
And
Nina and get Pablo and everything, and
I'm
move
telling you,
Hawaii
man.
and all that.
Yep.
And you had a
And that's
whole
why
life.
I always try to pay it forward too to anyone that, because you never know what someone's going through, man. Because I remember 20 years ago, someone gave me a dirty look. I'd probably end up fighting them or starting shit. Someone gives me a dirty look now, I just smile and give them love. And I don't know what they're
that's
going
it.
through. But,
Yep.
I don't know what's happening in their life.
The love
No
comes
idea.
after the cussing, though, don't it?
What's that?
The love comes after the cussing, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell my wife that all the time, man. Like in traffic, nowadays, if you cut somebody off, man, they flip you off or something. What I do if I make a mistake, because everybody make a mistake. If I do something in traffic and I upset somebody and they cuss me out, they can flip me the bird, man. I throw them the deuces, or I give them a thumbs up, like yeah. Like what's wrong with this guy, like I just flipped them off, but it's not worth it, man. There's some crazy folks out there, man. They'll follow you home, and you don't know who.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Whatever,
And that's funny, dude, because just not even 2 weeks ago, I think Crick's the only person I told about this. Like right after it happened, I left him a voice text. But I'm driving down H1 going towards town, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but I was drinking my coffee, and then I went to go put it in a thing, and I'm like, what? So I looked down, and I for a split second, I looked away from the road. And I may have swerved a little bit, but I didn't go outside the lines or nothing. That's the only thing I can think of. But anyway, I'm driving, and all of a sudden what's the exit? Where H1 splits off to where you go like towards Kaneohe or Kailua to H3. Yep. So it's like that wide. So I'm like right there, and this pickup truck, it's like a work pickup truck, flies up next to me, and he's just like, wow. And I'm like, oh, what? I look over at him, and he's just like, I don't know what he's saying. And I'm like, what? And remember, we're going like 60 miles an hour, too, at a time. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And his veins are popping out of his head. Dude, this guy was like bigger than Schwarzenegger back in the day when Schwarzenegger was at his peak. And I'm just going, dude, this guy's huge, man. Like, this guy would crush me, And he's just like, you're swerving or something. I really don't know what he was still. Only thing I think he was saying was something about swerving, and I'm just like, and so I just kind of smiled at him and was like, "Hey, man, I don't know what you're talking about, dude." But luckily, he was in that lane, and I was going straight. So I was like, but I don't even know what I did. I really don't even. But man, my heart was racing too, because I'm like, normally, even when I was on drugs, I still would have stepped up to that dude like an idiot, but now I'm like, dude, that guy would squash me, man. That guy's got like, I don't know if it was like roid rage or.
But no telling, man. That's why I say I don't even care to find out, man. It's I know I've definitely, pissed off a couple people on the road before, especially if you're driving all the time, it's you're bound to piss off somebody, So
yep, yeah, exactly. Yes. He wanted your number.
Yeah, I saw that. Read this. Kelly says, she says, but CDC on her grandson's foot helped him start speaking. He was nonverbal till 5 years old. After CBD, he speaks. That's amazing to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I have nothing against marijuana, because it's medicinal. Literally, it's God put it here for a reason. It's a medicine.
It definitely is. And you said you smoke, Marcus. Do you ever get sick?
No, you know what? So I try to just take, like, I guess they call it breaks or whatever, But no, I never get sick at all. It's just usually only when I work, for the most part, So I get out and trying to create something, I go to the beach or whatever. And it's funny, right before I met Steve, I was sitting at the beach one day down towards I guess it's Aina, way far out there, past Waikiki.
Oh, Aina. Yep.
Aina. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bumped into three guys out there, man. They were like some young, they like just like college dudes, maybe like 25, you know, they are all buff and stuff, you know, and they were getting ready to set up their podcast on the beach or whatever, you know, and you know, I was sitting where they like to do their stream at, you know, so one of the guys came over to, hey, you know, this is where we usually set up our podcast. Do you mind if we, you know, kind of switch spots? And I was like, nah, you're good, man. You know, you guys go ahead, you know. So and I saw their stream, you know, maybe a couple of weeks later, they posted the video, and you kind of see me sitting off in the background. I was like, man, you know what? I need to find me some folks like that too, that I can kind of get online with and just have conversations with, you know, because these guys were talking about, you know, dating and, you know, meeting chicks and stuff like that. And I was like, that's not my genre there, you know.
Right.
You know, so I was like, yeah, I'm past that phase, you know. So I was telling Steve, man, it's good, you know, I kind of stumbled on you guys that are actually speaking on the stuff that I like to, you know, that I like to hear about, you know. So definitely feels good to be on with some guys, you know, that speaks the same kind of talk.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one. To me, that's one of the fun things about, you know, doing this is meeting different people, you know, and even though, you know, some of them are, in my opinion, are out there, you know, that's fine. You know, at least you're getting to meet people and you know, and get to know other people's opinions on things.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with them or not, you know. Right,
and that's it. You know, everyone's got opinions, you know, and you have to respect that, you know. So. No matter what it is, every subject, every topic that you have, there's going to be an indifference in opinion. And if you're a person that can't respect, you know, a opinion that doesn't match your own, then you know, you may have a problem, you know. So I can't say that. I respect everybody's opinion. You know, everybody has one, you know. So what they say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
That's it. That's it right there. That is it.
And I mean, and that's the thing too. If everybody agreed on everything, that would just be a more twisted world, right? Like,
man, twisted, boring. I mean, all that.
Yeah,
exactly. Yep. That's it.
Yeah, so you'd have to be robots more or less, you know. So how much fun is a robot to be around day in day? I wouldn't think it'd be too much fun to be around a robot, but I've never been around one, so maybe it would be.
We got Jody Terry. Yeah, Jody, I do have the name of my page is Irons Man YouTube. My last name is Irons. So IRONS Man MAN and then YT, and you'll see my channel.
I think Steve's fixing to drop your link again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put
there it is. Wolverine's got it right there.
Oh, right on, Wolverines. Thank you, brother.
It's more or less just a lot of stuff. I troll people, you know. I think I was telling Steve, man, I think I cracked the YouTube algorithm, Ronnie. So, you know, if you need some assistance on getting some stuff out there, man, I kind of understand YouTube now in the sense of how you reach people. A lot of my videos now get halted, you know, like with me understanding the way graphs and charts work. I can look at the graphs that they allow you to see on YouTube, and I can look at them. I was like, hold up, that's not natural movement in a chart, you know. And of course, YouTube, they can't allow you to just blow up right away. So you got to be consistent with it and just continue to post. And that's what I've been doing. You know, if you look at my channel, you can just see where it's gradually going up. You know, my views are kind of increasing or whatever. So I want to be able to convert that over, like Steve said, to longer videos. It's just a lot more work. Like you can post a short in a matter of a couple minutes, you know, and it'll be out there. But with a longer video, man, you got to do some editing. You know, they don't allow you to use the thumbnail. You know, the thumbnail, they're not as, you know, you want to be catchy with long videos. So that's what I'm working on, man. I'm trying to get better at the editing part. So
yeah, it's a lot. And I was just telling Ronnie backstage before we went live about how shorts, they're so weird, man, because I have shorts that I almost just delete because I'm like, I wouldn't watch that. And then I'll post it, and that's the one that gets like 5,000-6,000 views. And I'm like, what? But then the ones that I'm like, dude, this is it. It's got like 97 views.
Like, it's all in the wording, man. It's so weird, you know.
I don't get it. It's just, I mean, I kind of get it, but for the most, I don't know. I guess maybe I got bad taste. What I think is cool and what I like is like, nobody else likes that shit, dude.
Yeah,
I've got one video that's got 1,200 views, and that's on Rumble. And but it's been there for a month. And I mean, I've been on Rumble now about 5 or 6 months, whatever. Been on YouTube for I don't know how long, but on YouTube, every time I get up to 500 or a little bit above, they'll take my channel away. Then I get up again, they'll take my channel away. This happened 7 times at least.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get a foothold, you know. But man, if I'm going to be on YouTube, then I got to be telling what I think is the right thing, you know, talking about what I think is the right thing.
Are you speaking on your subscribers, Ronnie, or are you just talking about like as your views start to grow?
No, subscribers.
Your subscribers. Okay, so every time your subscribers grow, they kick you off and start you over. Yeah, that's when you know you're doing something right, man. That's all I can say. You know, you're doing something right. They keep shutting you down. You're doing something right. You're stirring up something.
That's exactly what I feel about.
If Ronnie never lost his first channel, I mean, he'd probably have more subscribers than you, Marcus, because I think you're over 5,000, right?
Yeah, I'm sitting at 5,000 something now. And most of all those came from one video. You know, I think about 4,000 of my subscribers came from my first video that hit 4 million views.
Wow.
So from that time, about 4 or 5 months ago, I've been trying to figure this thing out, and then finally I figured it out. I was like, oh, that's why that video went viral like that. And it was because, you know, everybody's a know-it-all. Everybody online is a know-it-all, you know. So in that video, I mistakenly called a moped a motorcycle. And, you know, I was recording a nice looking Mustang. I saw the Mustang, you know, I didn't even see what was going on in the background. I was like, chick on motorcycle digs guy's Mustang. You know, so all the people that love Mustangs are in the comments. They're like, that is a nice Mustang. I love that paint job. And they're talking about what their parents owned or whatever. And then all the know-it-alls are in the comment like, you're a freaking idiot. It's not a motorcycle. It's a moped. I'm just here laughing like, yo, like, should I change it? You know, should I change it and update it to say motorcycle? I was like, no, that's YouTube. Everybody's a know-it-all.
Yeah, so, no shit, man. Yeah,
man, it's so weird, man. So now with videos, you know, that I post or whatever, you know, so I don't troll in every single video, but some of them, you know, I'll call a Bronco. The new Broncos that are out, they look just like the Jeep. So I'm like, oh my goodness, the new Jeeps are so cool. And people like, how does this guy not know his Jeep? You know, so it's
the Bronco, so funny, you dumbass. What the hell, man?
Exactly. They're all in the comments calling me a dumbass and like, this guy doesn't know his cars, man. But it's all trolling, man. So and then views get up, and because what it does, it gets people commenting on the video, you know, and then they start sharing it, you know, and it just takes off, you know. So a lot of people, man, they just gravitate towards something they can fix. I guess everybody wants to be a fixer.
Well, Marcus, I got to ask you this question, man. The next day or whenever you found out that you got 5 million views, did your head get this big and everything? I mean,
Ronnie, check this out, man. So for me, you know, so my wife, she's on, so you know, she gets on the social media platforms and stuff a little more often than I do, you know. But when I first posted this video, I mean, it hit 1,200 views, and I was like, oh shoot, my video is going viral. And she looked at me, she was like, 1,200 views, you're not going viral, you know. So I'm like, hey, I'm excited about it, you know. So but it didn't actually really take off until a month later, you know. It was like a month later, it hit like 1 million views, and then once it hit like 1 million views, it just kept going, you know. And I was like, okay, you know, maybe I can do this, you know. So I just kept posting, you know, and a lot of my earlier videos, they just never really got going, you know. So I just stuck with it, man, and it probably was within the last month, I was like, I think I was walking down the beach, you know, I had just finished, I had just smoked one out on the beach or whatever. And on the way back, I was like, oh my. And if you go through my videos, you'll probably find that video where I was like, I just cracked the YouTube algorithm. And then the video just shuts off, you know. So, but from that point on, I can make pretty much any video just take off. And of course, it has to be a quality video. You know, you can't just post some crap and expect for people to start tuning in. But
well, there goes my hopes.
But no, man, it's pretty cool, man, and it's fun to interact with folks, you know. So
what that video do you think that got people to watch it so much? I mean, other than
it was a 10-second clip, you know, and it was I recorded it down in Waikiki. Like I said, it was just me recording a Mustang that I thought looked pretty cool, and I made the mistake of calling, you know, something, you know, wrong. And then of course there was a nice looking young lady in the video too, you know.
Definitely was.
So interracial couple, you know. So it's just different people, man, just jumping in there. And then once it starts, what you have to do, you have to break the algo, because the algorithm is designed to halt your videos after a certain amount of views, because it can't keep going up, because at some point when you do that, YouTube will have to pay everybody. But if you can crack that algo and get enough people talking about your video, then that's when it just takes off, you know. So and with you in your case, Ronnie, you're exposing a lot of BS that's going on, you know. I mean, you're exposing real world stuff, you know. So I think as your channel starts to grow, it's going to be tough for you, because YouTube, you know, it's controlled by the elites, you know. So if your message gets out there and it's so big, you know, now they can't control your channel anymore. So what they're going to do, they're going to keep starting you over. But hopefully the people that know you, you know, if your channel gets, you know, deleted, they come and jump right back on with you, you know. So that's the way you continue to grow.
Yeah, well, that's what I always have to do. And thanks to guys like Steve and Hawk and Big Chap and others,
Yeah,
you know, I can, when they do take me down, at least I can get on with these guys, you know, and they help me get my new channel going again, you know, getting it out to the people. But man, I'm telling you, it just gets, it gets old, you know. It just does.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If I didn't feel like I was doing a good service, believe me, I wouldn't still be doing it. But I do it, you know, because really I feel like it's what God wants me to do, and it comes from my heart.
It's your purpose, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be on here otherwise. That's what my opening statement says, or whatever you call a thing. That's exactly what it says. I wouldn't be on here if it wasn't because I felt like it's coming from God. I mean, I'd never got on to begin with.
Yeah.
There's other guys, you know. Hawk's one of them. Hawk's a good friend, but he has a way bigger channel than me. But I went on with him too. Back when I lost my channel, he helped me get this one going again. So I mean, thanks to everybody that's helped me all along the way, you know, get it to going again. I've met some good people on way more good people on YouTube than I've met bad. I have met some that I don't like at all.
Right.
But most I like a lot. You know, there's always assholes no matter where you go or what you're doing.
Yep. And it's crazy too how many people, I always think about that, how many people I've met on YouTube that I trust more with my life than I would in the last 20 years of people I met just in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and I was lucky enough to have met Marcus in person first time I met him. Right. So you're like,
we just struck up a conversation and figured out that we're all, matter of fact, Alex, he's a little bit younger than us. You know, he's on Instagram, you know, so he's supposed to kind of school us on the whole Instagram stuff, you know, but man, it's a small world, man. You just got to get out there and meet people, man. You come across some really great folks. You got to get out your way, your circle. Comfort zone. That's what it is. Got to get out your comfort zone.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to be able to get out of the house and meet more people, you know, and just be able to do things. Right now, I can't because of, you know, my health and all. So I had my daughter just went and bought groceries for me today. But if it was possible, and when I can get out of the house, I do get out. But most times I just literally do not feel like it at all. I mean, I don't even feel like walking to the bathroom to take a leak.
I can see Ronnie putting on a cowboy hat, going to the corner country bar and doing the little bit of boot scooting boogie.
It'd be a very little nowadays, I guarantee you. One step that'd be through. No doubt about it. I used to though, man. I used to love to dance. But
hey, okay, I can see you cutting the rug there, Ronnie.
Oh yeah, give me a good country and western bar, man. I can just go to town.
Dave's not here at a good point. The truth is not a popular message, Ronnie. People want entertainment and a place to escape, but truth needs to be told. Truth sets us free.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way to put it there, Dave.
Well, I got to ask Dave a question. Where you been, Dave? Why ain't you on my channel? Because believe me, I'm trying to tell it. I'm doing my best. I'm just messing with you, Dave. See, I can't even get Elvis to come in no more.
Oh, don't worry, man. We got Elvis is on going to be a guest also. I got that written down too.
Yeah, but he don't come into my shows, my regular shows anymore. I don't know why. I guess I don't sing enough or something. I don't know. Thank you, Mr. B. Appreciate you, brother. I do. I sing. I sing a little.
Not a trick, but that's another like truth is always be you, you know, because people see right through that. If you're not you and you're just putting in a character or pretending, people see right through that shit. Nobody wants.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when you're not genuine, I mean, folks can pick up on it right away. You know, I think I kind of do that real good as well. You know, I'm a real good judge of character. You know, and when you see somebody that's kind of, I guess, shady, you know, or self-centered, it sticks out like a sore thumb. You know.
Yep. And even if it doesn't stick out, you get that gut feeling like,
yeah,
you know.
You know what, Steve? A thought just occurred to me. We're going to have to get Marcus on one of these karaoke shows one of these nights and let him do some singing.
Yeah, we got to get him to subscribe to Deb's Wood Burning and Creek Squad.
Absolutely.
Every Wednesday, Creek has his chat and chill and karaoke. And then
Mr. B has a karaoke
Mr. B
too.
on Fridays. Is it Fridays? I think it's Fridays. That's when I always catch it. But yeah, Mr. B's. And so I used to do the karaoke, but I'm taking a very long break from it.
Yeah, he blew that.
I flushed that one down the toilet, pun intended.
Thank you, Bolton. Had good to see you, brother. We definitely are a family, Mary. No doubt about that. Thanks for the subscription, Dave. Appreciate it. Now you can watch if I ever come back on again and get some truth, some real truth. And it's been so long since I've been on, I don't even know if I know how to do it anymore. This Thursday will be 2 weeks since, Steve and I have been on each Sunday, but I haven't been on since Thursday before last, if I remember correctly, and I think I do. Because it just, my health and everything again. So, I just play it by ear. I would love to be on every night, though. I would literally love it.
Yeah, a little while back you were doing, well, not every night, but
darn near it. Through the week, it often, was every night.
You would definitely be going live often. And
yeah, but, just shit happens.
Oh, let's see. Dave, you probably were subscribed, but probably his last channel or the channel before that.
Oh, the one before that, the one before that, the one before that.
Well, hey, Ronnie and Steve, I got some stuff I got to go take care of. Hey, I appreciate you guys inviting me on the chat. Hopefully, here, in the near future, I can jump on with you guys again. For everyone that subscribes to my channel, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, I can jump on and chat with you guys again soon, man. So everybody, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and God bless you.
Hey, Marcus, thanks for coming on with us, brother.
Yeah, thank you for coming on with us. And you got my number, man. If you ever need anything, get stuck on the road or whatever, man, you definitely give me a call. Hey,
if I don't get this fuel filter changed out, man, I may be calling you sooner than later.
Hey, you can, man. You got my number, definitely, brother. Definitely.
All right, cool. All right,
Chad, Marcus.
Later.
So, all right, much love, man.
All right, peace out.
Well, Marcus had it timed just about right. We're past time.
I was gonna say when he said that, I was like, we were just about to end it. That was perfect.
It was. Definitely was.
I put Ronnie's link in my chat for Dave, so now you can subscribe again.
He's wanting Marcus's link too.
Oh yeah, and I got to throw Marcus's in there. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, Bolt. Yeah, y'all have to remind me of those things because I can't see the wrenches on here. So.
Oh yeah, unless you're in the mine. Yeah. Okay. And then this one is Marcus's link for his channel. So
there's a bunch of people on here.
Man, I don't know, where's William at? Is William still here? We got to get the stamp. We got to get the stamp of approval.
We sure do. Where's the announcer when you need him?
And I hope, I don't know, I haven't heard it yet, but I hope my mic sounds okay because this is my new mic. It just came like 20 minutes before we went live. So
Sounds
I don't
good
know.
to me.
I just hope it sounds all right. But
Well, it was
I'm gonna play
definitely
around
nice.
with it afterwards. Actually, I got to go to work, and then after I go to work, I'm gonna play around with it. But
Work. That's a 4-letter word, Steve. Don't you know that?
Well, it's not really work. It's I got to go look at a job. But cool part is I get to go look at a job with my old business partner that I haven't seen in a long time. So catch up.
Ketchup.
What about mustard?
Yeah, Steve does know all about getting stuck on the road. He's good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, remember that? You guys remember that when my tire blew out? Oh shit!
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Terrible.
Who's live was you supposed to have been on that day? Craig's, I think.
Yeah, because Craig invited me like 3 weeks in a row, and every week I was like, "Yeah, Craig invited me," and then work happened, and then I couldn't make. And then that day I was like, "I'm making it. I'm gonna be home for sure, dude. Nothing's gonna stop me, man, because I didn't have no other jobs to go to, and I still had like 2 hours." I'm like, "Sweet," and then I'm doing like 70 miles an hour, and poof! Oh shit!
That was actually Craig had your tire blown out with a gun. You know, so he didn't really want you on.
Yeah, that sniper action going.
Yeah.
And then he hasn't asked me since.
I know it, man. You got to get on there when, when he offers, or you're just up a creek. Yes, Miss Minder Sue, I am taking that very thing once a day. I've been taking it now for about 2 months, I'd say, something like that.
Oh yeah, we got it. That was a damn good show.
We did where I didn't see it. I didn't see
right above the last one you just read.
Oh yeah, there it is. All right, we got the
Nice.
official proclamation.
There's a stamp of approval. So with that stamp, I'm gonna let Ronnie close out. And Ronnie, you know I love you, brother. And I'll talk to you again soon. And next week, we do every other week. So next week, my channel, same show. Yep. And I can't see my calendar from here, but we have a guest next week. And always a good guest. So it's going to be a good
next
guest.
Sunday will be the 11th.
Yep.
Today's the 4th, right?
11th. Yep, February 11th.
And so you say that who'd you say was supposed to be here next week?
I think it's
is it Wolverines?
Jake. I think. I don't know. My handwriting's too small. I can't tell. I think it's Jake, Homeless in America.
Okay. I know I haven't met Jake, hadn't had him on a show yet, but I mean I know him, but I haven't been on a panel with him yet.
Right,
so we'll find out.
Me neither, yeah. Never been on a panel with him, so but yeah, it should be good. I mean, he's a good dude, and he is homeless, and he's making it happen. He's making it work. So
there you go. That's all a person can try to do nowadays. Well, thank you, Brother Steve, for being on and every time with me. I definitely appreciate it, bro.
Absolutely, brother.
Have a good work day out there. Just try to make all the money you can, and if it's over 1,000, send me half.
Right. I want to put it towards the Hawaii fund. Hawaii trip for you.
Hey, that'll work. It works for me. 500 more in the account. It wouldn't take me long to get there if we could ever reach the 500 mark. Who knows? Might be the next day. But
you never know, man.
That's right. I guess we'll find out though.
Definitely. So until next week, and I'll talk to you before then though, Ronnie. But for everyone in chat, till next week. And another huge shout out to Marcus, Ironsman YT. Everyone have a beautiful morning, beautiful day, beautiful afternoon, beautiful evening, and beautiful night, whatever it may be, wherever you are. Much love, much aloha. Most importantly, God bless.
See you later, Steve. Thank you, bro. There goes the most famous man in the world, Steve Harloha. You know, he can't go anywhere in the world without being offered free room, free board, free food. I mean, everything. They even give him free money if he wants it, but he don't need money because he's a plumber. I'm just kidding. Steve's a great guy. I love Steve. What did Mr. B say here? Steve, give Ronnie my adoption papers and ticket, and I'll come with him. Oh, hey, that'll work. Well, he's got to send the money too. Oh, you did say ticket. Okay, all right. I was going to say I ain't buying your ticket. All right. Well, everybody, I guess we'll go ahead and close her down there. Thanks to all you guys for jumping in here and spending the last couple hours with us. Well, going on 3 hours now. Definitely appreciate y'all. And believe it or not, I'm going to try to have a show either tomorrow night or Tuesday. It'll probably be Tuesday because of some things I don't want to upset. So it'll probably be Tuesday night. But it could be tomorrow night. Just keep a lookout for me. If I'm on, I sure would love it if all y'all could drop in. But until the next time, thank you, Kelly, for being here. Appreciate your hanging out with us and watching. And Creek, please go get you another. Well, now the can you got up there, I guess will do, the Coors Light. But you know, don't be hiding that Bud Light behind a Coors Light sticker. I love you, Creek. Have a good one, brother. Oh, Mr. Craig's still here. I thought you'd left a long time ago, Craig. I didn't see your comments anywhere. So anyway, thank you for joining us, Craig. Appreciate you, brother. I know I tease you a lot, Craig, but you know, I can't help it because after all, you are Craig the Hunter. I love all you guys. Well, hello, bro. I just not seen you. Welcome, bro. Anyway, we'll see y'all all on the next one. Y'all have a blessed Sunday and a blessed upcoming week. Love all you guys, and we'll see you then. Y'all take care.